And I'm mostly happy that you don't have to do it. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have almost made it. I think the last game was October 27th.
Correct.
And then October 28th, you always go, how are we ever going to make it to the next baseball season? It's so
depressing.
far away. It's never going to get here.
November, December, January, February, March. 5 long, arduous months. Depressing months. Everything's better when baseball gets here. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Everything smells better. Everything tastes better. You're getting along better. I'm a better dad. I'm a better husband. I'm in there making lunches last night, having a ball, just waiting for opening day to get here. There's such a sense of peace in my life when baseball arrives. And, you can't. It's hard to live that way. It's 5 months of the year that I'm a total a-hole, and I understand it. But that means that there's 7 months that I'm fairly happy most of the time. Sometimes it has to do with the results of the game as well. But man, it's good to have baseball back tomorrow.
It's nice to have the routine.
Yeah.
Obviously there are day games and off days during the season, but for the most part, you build. If you're a Padres fan, you kind of build your evening around a 6:40 start and knowing, hey, I'm going to wrap up my day by watching, a couple hours of baseball. Now, a little less maybe than we did in the past. Instead of 3.5 hours, more like 2 hours and 45 minutes of baseball. And that's going to be your routine now for the next 6+ months in the evenings. And I like that.
Me too.
I don't like hitting 7 o'clock on days when I'm not on AM. All right, what am I going to watch tonight? What's going to be on? I just know. All right, Padres are on. We are locked in for the rest of the evening. I know how it's going to go. So yeah, it's a comfort factor once baseball season starts.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously this is going to be a nerve-wracking season. And it starts tomorrow. We were kind of laughing behind the scenes yesterday. Yeah, I could see them dropping game 1 just because it's just been so much. It's just been so much. The off season, the additions, of course I want them to win. Of course I'm rooting like hell for them to win. If they go out and drop game 1 tomorrow, yeah, it's going to feel a little weird, but baseball has a way of smacking you in the face a little bit when you get too cocky, those baseball gods. So again, I'm going to try to stay even keel. And of course, the motto for the year is enjoy the ride. Just like last year, we get to see some superstars in this lineup every single day. You do know this. Knock on wood. There's going to be one superstar in that lineup every day. At least one. Knock on wood.
Hopefully at least 3.
Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying. But at least one superstar in that lineup every single day. And on the mound and closing out a game. Like, you just never know. But it's just going to be so much fun. So much fun. Give me your scenes for tomorrow. Like, what are you guys, what was the plan for both of you? Was that? Did you hear that?
Wasn't my stomach. I know this time it was
did
not.
You swallow an alien?
I did not.
That was really weird.
Sound. I did not make that sound.
I don't know if that went out over the air, if that was just in our headphones.
That sounded very, very odd. Are you guys doing anything special tomorrow? We have our broadcast. We're going to be at Happy Does downtown from 6 to 10. And then games at 1, allegedly.
So I go straight to the Marriott across the street from Petco Park and broadcasting on Channel 10 from 11 a.m. to noon. We have our midday newscast that's going to be anchored live from across the street, although I've heard instead of on the roof because of rain and wind, we're moving down to the ground floor of the cafe there at the Marriott and going to be kind of street side as people kind of go into Petco Park before the game. And then the nice part tomorrow is that, we don't have another television show until 4. So I should be able to go in and watch most of the game and enjoy that. I'll cut some highlights and get ready for my afternoon television. And it's back across the street for the post game from 4 to 7:30. I'll be on the air again. So it's a work day, but it's going to be all downtown.
Do you have to do the late thing
too?
No,
I'm going to I'll tape the late.
Huge.
So I'll be done at 7:30, 8 o'clock and get to go home a little bit early after. Early relative, for someone who's been working from, 5 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Right.
That's my early night. I only, it's only 15 hours straight, and then I get to go home.
The good thing is, though, it will there'll still be a glimmer of light outside.
That's true.
You'll be done for work, which never happens to you. Paul, you got a friend in town from Singapore.
Yeah.
Your buddy Aaron, who's great dude.
Yeah, he moved to Singapore about a year ago, it was weird. We went to opening day together last year. He moved to Singapore like a month later.
Yeah.
And just happens to be in San Diego this week. I was like, "You free on Thursday? Like, I'll get you a ticket. Let's make it happen." And so he's going to come down to watch us at Happy Does tomorrow, and then we're going to cruise over to the game.
Now, your plan is a little more.
It's a little more involved.
Yeah, a little more involved, a little more fun.
We needed to get away. My wife and I, we just haven't gotten a chance to do it. We haven't. Not that. I didn't mean do it. Well, that too. But what I meant is get away together without the Dip-ass brothers, as I call them at home. We have not been able to have time to ourselves. I mean, an hour here, hour there, grab some dinner quickly at 4:30 to 5:30. But to get away and really just kind of leave them in the dust for a couple days. We've been going pretty hard at the parenting thing for a while. So
you have a sitter, or are they on their own for the first time?
They're on their own. Okay. Yeah, Bo's going to – I left him $50. They should be fine. Yeah, he knows how to DoorDash. He's good. Can you imagine? No, their Gaga is going to be watching them, and so they're super happy. They could not be happier that we are leaving. But we're going to go downtown today. Like, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to go home. I'm going to pack, and then we're heading downtown. And we're going to go. You guys will get to see Margarita Hannah. Margarita Hannah is very fun. Very, very fun and loose. And I'm looking forward to seeing Margarita Hannah. It's been a minute. So we're going to go down today. We're going to go have some drinks today in the middle of the day. Mom and Dad are going to be painting the town today. So I'm excited about that. Staying at a hotel down there, walking distance to our broadcast. We'll finish up there, go back, freshen up, change, and then head down to our pal Corey's tailgate downtown in the tailgate lot, which is electric every year. He's making sangria, the whole bit. It's just gonna be fun. I've decided to start living a little.
You are
more.
Gonna make it to Happy Does tomorrow. I know. When you go.
I do.
You go pretty hard.
I do, but not hard. Not on a work day.
Okay.
Not on a work day. I'm very responsible, as you know, and you can always count on me. So I will not end up in the gutter today. I promise you. Just gonna have a couple drinks and enjoy some time with Margarita Hannah.
I know.
The best.
By the way, I know we're gonna have a special guest tomorrow at Happy Does. Looking forward to that. Can we promote that?
Can we promote that yet,
Paulie, or is that
save it to 7? With the
Yeah,
other
let's just save it to
promotions.
7.
All right,
We got
so coming up
a lot
at
of announcements
7
at
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of show announcements, big baseball season announcements for you to get you ready for kind of what Ben and Woods is going to sound like for the next 6 months.
Well, and then the other thing that we're doing Saturday, can we talk about that yet or no? I have not seen approval for that. No. Okay. And it's Aztecs related. So just know that as well. I wanted to tell you guys too. So we're staying 2 nights downtown. So we got tonight and tomorrow night. Friday, if it's cool with you guys, Hannah's going to come in and do some work here. And I told her, if you come in to work, you have to work. So I'm going to make her moderate the YouTube chat while she's in here tomorrow. But she will be here if that's cool with you guys.
She's a regular on that YouTube chat anyway.
She's up early and keeping fools in line over there. So you can watch us on YouTube as well. If you go to YouTube, search Ben and Woods, smash that subscribe button. I get it now why all those nerds that my son watches on YouTube are screaming about subscribers, because that's what you want. You want to build your following. It's better for you if you do. So please go subscribe if you haven't already. Give our thing a like if you're watching. It's just cool. We're trying to do cool stuff for you guys.
Current chat is blended or on the rocks on margaritas.
Really?
I'm always an on the rocks guy when I get a margarita.
Okay.
With or without salt is also a big question going with margaritas.
My wife likes she likes the real spicy margarita. So she likes like habanero or jalapeno margaritas, which I don't really care for. I don't really like margaritas. The citrus gives me heartburn.
See, now I'm with Sean. I go for palomas. I like the grapefruit juice squirt kind of tequila combination. You know how I feel about squirt. Grapefruit soda goes well with tequila.
It really does.
I used to be margarita. All right, full salt rim. I want like a Slurpee, and then it started just getting.
I like squirt.
Yeah, it started getting a little salty, and now it's pretty much barely any juice, just kind of a mostly tequila on the rocks sort of margarita.
Yeah, why don't you just get a tequila on the rocks?
Yeah.
Splash alive.
Actually, I get them neat now. Just all right, we don't need anything. Just
wow, that's so hardcore.
A nice little glass of neat.
Paul, are you
a Marg
tequila? A Marg guy?
No,
not at all.
Not really. Tequila has never been my thing.
Yeah, it turns me into a different
person. Like maybe one. Like I could either, if somebody brought a round of shots, I can do
do a shot of tequila.
I can do one margarita. After that, it just doesn't sit well. I'm not a fan.
I turn into, and see, people say that this is a myth. Like, I fully believe I'm a different person when I drink beer. If all right, Woodsy's getting drunk tonight. If I'm drunk on beer, I'm different than when I'm drunk on whiskey. And if I'm drunk on whiskey, I'm different than when I'm drunk on tequila. Is that not a thing? That's a real thing, right?
I mean, your body breaks it all down into just alcohol.
That's so right.
It really shouldn't be that much of a different thing. Now, obviously, you can get drunk faster on harder liquor because it's, a higher concentration, but it shouldn't ultimately make you feel any different.
So there was a night in college, and it's so gnarly, but I went to the local bar, like after classes at let's call it 4:00. And the maintenance man from my building was there, and he was the coolest guy ever. And he's like, let's do a tequila shot. It was literally just me and him in the bar, waiting for everybody else to come down. I was like, cool, I'll do one with you. And I did it, and it hit so good. It hit so good. It was smooth. Let's do another one. Yeah, let's do another one. All right, let's do another one. Yeah, how about another one? Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another. I mean, my girlfriend at the time showed up.
Now you're dead.
It was about 8:00 at night, and I was out of my mind, and I had like a nervous breakdown. Like the next morning I woke up and I had like a nervous breakdown. That was from drinking tequila. That's never happened to me drinking anything else. Is that a myth? Like, if you drank the same amount of vodka, are you going to be the same kind of drunk as you are as tequila? I don't know. I really don't know the answer. I do know what I think in my head. Like, ooh, don't get him drinking that whiskey. You know how he acts when he drinks whiskey. Well, isn't that different than he's drinking? I
think it's mostly because, some people will drink things faster than others. Like,
is that why?
Like, people will say, "Oh, give Ben some sake," because he can get a little more fun when he's drinking sake. I think it's more that I can drink it a little bit faster than some other
maybe
kind of drinks. Like, if I have a beer, I'm sipping it. It takes me 25, 30 minutes to drink one. I don't shotgun them. I don't go really fast. You've seen me try to drink quickly. I can't do it.
I have seen it.
So
it's phenomenal.
It has to be a very smooth alcohol or liquor if I'm going to drink it on the quicker side.
Don't get Ben drinking that tequila, though. That's the one that goes down so smooth. Yeah,
it can. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I'd love to hear your opinions on all of this, everyone. You can tweet us at Ben and Woods. You can watch us on YouTube. You can comment on YouTube. Got a lot of cool stuff for you today to talk about, and a couple of great guests. Adnan Virk is a guy that we have not talked to before. I'm excited about him because not only does he love baseball, he's like a movie junkie as well. He's got a new show coming out with Harold Reynolds, and I just think he is phenomenal at what he does. And then our pal Adam Jones is going to join us. Paulie, do we know what time yet?
7:35.
He's very hard to pin down sometimes. 7:35, Adam Jones.
He's never told us he would join us and not shown up.
Correct. He's never bailed, but you can't promote him the night before because he doesn't text.
He knows we have a weekly, so I text him just to confirm on Tuesday. Hey, still good tomorrow? Yeah, 7:30.
We don't hear.
I don't know where you're at in the world, so 7:30 Pacific, whatever time that is for you. Does that work?
And no response.
Don't hear from him sometimes.
And then in the morning at 5:50, yo, what up, pimp? What time you need me? We're like, the same time every day. So he's the greatest. He'll be joining us at 7:35. And then, of course, our beloved handsome CEO, Eric Greupner, at 8 a.m. Ooh, man, what a season he's got ahead of him.
Yeah, they introduced some of the new items and changes at Petco Park yesterday. Going to have some of the festivities for opening day revealed as well. So you definitely want to join us at 8 o'clock for the CEO of the Padres, Eric Greupner. Of course, we'll be talking Padres, a little bit of Aztecs as well as they get set to head off to the Final Four in Houston. What a week. What a week in San Diego. We're getting started the Wednesday edition of Ben and Woods, back with the Daily Ditty, Women Who Rock. Woodsy's selection coming up after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. That was my Diddy selection, the great Liz Phair, Supernova. Kind of the song I always wished well, if I'm being honest, I wish a woman would sing about me. The lyrics in it, if you go look at the lyrics of Supernova, you're like, man, it'd be nice if a woman, my wife, wrote a song like that about me.
You know what I know about Liz Phair?
What?
That it's PH and not F. And that's
PH.
About all I know about Liz Phair.
Phenomenal. Big crush on her, man. Big crush on her. Yeah, our beloved Heather Lake from Fox 5 just arrived, so I had to go down and get them and bring them up. So I'm a little bit out of breath. So if you would like to take over, that's fine.
Absolutely. So you were just basically mentioning the fact that you're worried Padres could lose on opening day, which of course is always a possibility. It's a baseball season. It's not. Yeah. It's not football. It's not college football. It's baseball. You're not going to win 162 games. And I know you said you got a little irritated when I said that yesterday, but let's operate in the land of reality and acknowledge the fact that the Padres will not go 162 and I don't even know if I would want them to go 162 and 0. If you could sign up for that right now, but then I told you the playoffs, though, anything could happen. Oh God, I don't think I'd want to be 162 and 0 going into the playoffs.
I think if anything, if you learned anything from the Dodgers last year, winning a lot of games in the regular season. I mean, think about in sports. Remember the Bulls when they set the record for most wins in a season? They won the ship that year, and you have to. The Patriots had the perfect season, lost the Super Bowl. They would have traded 5 of those regular season wins. So being the top dog in the regular season, it means a lot, but it doesn't mean obviously as much as winning in the playoffs.
But I do feel like it's going to be a fairly rare occasion when the Padres are underdogs in a game in 2023.
Yeah, I think pitching matchups and things like that. I mean,
that's what I wanted to ask. So what are the kind of games that you would say that you could actually consider this Padres team an underdog?
It's not what I would consider. It's what
Vegas would consider.
So if the Padres are playing
even with the pitching matchup, if you gave
always have that.
If you gave the upper hand to the other team with the starting pitcher, like Ryan Weathers is making a start, but we're going up against
Justin Verlander.
Now they have a good roster as well, but I'm thinking of a team that doesn't have the great roster, but they got a great pitcher. You're like, well, we still have 4 MVP caliber superstars.
I'll be honest. I think they're going to be a tough team to handicap. I do, because my natural inclination is
Sandy Alcantara versus Ryan Weathers.
Right. I
think the Padres are still favored.
My natural inclination is somebody that gambled on 7,000 baseball games last year. My natural inclination is I'm just going to put money on the Padres every game. Padres to win. Padres money line. Padres, the run line is where it gets you a little bit. It's a better price, obviously, but Padres money line to win. I think you're going to win a lot more than you lose. But I think the natural inclination is to say, well, look at that lineup. But we all know it doesn't work like that. We know it doesn't work like that. Guys are going to go into slumps. Guys are going to not be able to hit their way out of a paper bag for 2 weeks, and everyone's going to think they're washed, and then they'll break out of it.
But it's going to, I think, be rare that every single guy goes into a big slump at the same time. Sure. This is the difference between this Padres team and pretty much other Padres teams of the past or other teams in baseball right now. When you have so many superstar caliber players in your lineup, you're a little bit insulated against that, because all you need is 1 or 2 hot superstars to carry the day, and you're usually pretty golden. If you're a baseball team and you got 1 or 2 guys hot at the same time, you're in good shape.
Well, you need a bloop and a blast, and Trent Grisham works a walk, and Tatis comes up in the leadoff spot and hits a 2-run homer. It's 2-0. Juan Soto.
I feel like if the bottom 3 players in your lineup go 500 on the night, you're going to win every game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if those guys eat this year, it's church for this league, dude. Really,
that's the only respite for a starting pitcher.
It's still not even that much of a respite.
It's not. But you're like, if you can somehow get through the first, call it 5 spots, 6 spots in the order, you're like, okay, maybe a chance a little bit.
So when the starting pitcher, whether it's Joe Musgrove or Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, even Nick Martinez or Seth Lugo, when they kind of shove and have a really good game, Padres are going to win probably 90 to 95% of those games. They have just too much offense. If they're only giving up a run or two in a game, it's going to be very, very hard to beat the Padres.
Yep.
That'll happen quite a bit, I would think, this season. Then you have the off games for the pitchers where they go out. They're not terrible, but all right, they give up, 4 or 5 in 5 or 6 innings, and then you have to score some runs. I think the Padres are still going to win a majority of those games. They're going to win some 7-4s and 8-6s. And then you have the very, handful of games where your pitchers just doesn't have it and they give up a bunch of runs. I don't think the Padres are out of those games. No. I mean, they're,
somebody gets shelled and
you give
2
them 8
or
or
9
9
innings
runs,
and they give up 7.
You're probably going to lose, but you're sitting down 8-1 in the third and you're going, it's far from over, guys.
Nabil comes in and
we'll lose 8-6 maybe.
Shuts him out for 4 innings, and the guys start
You're right back
away.
in it. I mean, I think there's going to be a few times this season where the Padres come back in a game you don't think they're going to win because of that offense.
I'm telling you, though, it's just that it's so much hype. There was a tweet that came out yesterday. Our computers have picked the Padres to win the World Series, and it just, you look at it and go, I don't want to see this, man. I don't want to see this. I don't want players to see this. Just go win tomorrow. 1-0 tomorrow. I'm going to wear you guys out with it. Again, like I did last year, that's the only thing that matters is win the game in front of you. You cannot worry about October now. Win the game in front of you and let the chips fall where they may. And I like our chances at the end.
Padres will undoubtedly be a featured team nightly on MLB Tonight with Adnan Virk and Harold Reynolds. Adnan Virk is going to join us coming up here. Looking forward to talking to him as we get started on another baseball season. We'll get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Ben Woods back with you, 97.3 The Fan. We were just talking about getting back into the rhythms of baseball season. Part of those rhythms, of course, flipping on MLB Network at the end of the day or in the morning to see what's going on, to hear about the Padres and all your other favorite teams. And joining us right now, MLB Network host Adnan Virk. I can't believe we've never had him on our show before, but I'm really excited about this. In fact, I'm even more excited when I found out that our boss, Adam Klug, used to work with Adnan back at the four-letter network back in the day. So maybe Adnan can dish us a little gossip on our boss, Adam Klug, if he even remembers him. Good morning, Adnan. How are you?
Dan and Woods, great to be with you, fellas. Of course, I finally remember Adam Klug. When I first started doing radio at ESPN, he was one of the first producers I worked with, and he was terrific. He always gave great feedback. He was funny. He was engaging. He was pretending to listen to me, or at least being entertained by me. I was very good at acting with that. But I remember the big thing that he drilled into me was resets. And as a TV guy, you don't do that. You just watch TV. So I would do is say, hey, don't forget that reset. Again, for those who are listening, don't know what I'm talking about. Every 5 minutes, you just want to say your name, say the name of the show, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So this day, I think of Adam Klug, and I think of, hey, more resets. Let's go.
Adnan, did it sound like this? Are you ready? Here we go. Yeah. Hey, Adnan, can you make sure to reset more?
A drawn-out delivery, like not quite Lombard in Office Space. But generally, it's in that vicinity.
It is. We love that.
Did you see what Bill Belichick said today?
Yes, we saw it. It's so great, man. Well, it's so good to talk to you, man. I love. You know what I love about your work is. Yes, you're passionate about baseball, as are we, but you're passionate about other things as well. And you are quite the cineophile. Is that the word that I'm looking for? And
it's close. It is cinephile, and that is the name of my podcast. No, I appreciate it. Listen, as you said, we all love baseball. It's the best sport around, but you have to have other interests in life. And of course, I love movies, and it's just really funny to me that anyone ever actually listens. Like, most of us dream of saying, I'm going to get paid to watch baseball and watch movies. Yeah. And somehow miraculously it's happened. I'm so grateful.
It is. Well, give me, because you know what? It's happened to me, and I think it's happened to other people too.
By the way, this is Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. We're talking with Adnan Virk from MLB Network.
640.
Very good.
48 degrees.
Nice and clear.
Good reset.
Clear outside. It's happened to me a little bit where TV for me has kind of supplanted movies. I was the guy that I loved movies, but then there's been so much good TV, and you see big stars kind of matriculate to the small screen. For you though, what are a couple of standouts for you that you've enjoyed over the last couple of years? Because I really am not up on movies like I used to be.
No, it's a great point. And then matriculation, by the way, is an outstanding word. And what's happened is Barry Jenkins, the great director of Moonlight, he said to me once, what's happened is now in movies, you either make a movie for $2 million, as he did with Moonlight, or you make it for $200 million, and it's all these Marvel movies or John Wick 4. And there's none of those middle-of-the-road movies. Yeah. And you'd have, those great films, obviously the independent movie with Miramax in the 90s, but like a movie like Quiz Show I love, Ordinary People, those movies don't get made anymore. They've matriculated to the small screen. And now you get what really is the heyday of the limited series. Like if someone says, what's the best thing going? Probably a good 8-part limited series on Hulu or Amazon. That's going to be great. The Night Of was so good by HBO. So as far as movie-wise, I love The Irishman, which came out in 2019. And it got rave reviews by critics. And then what happened was it got mixed reviews from fans. Right? And fans go, it's too long, it's too boring, I didn't like the CGI, and blah, blah, blah. And I go, that's a movie where, to your point, you had to watch it in the theater. Because for lack of a better term, you had no escape. You had to be immersed in that film for 3 hours and 20 minutes. And if you walked out, you said, that's an incredible saga, and really was Scorsese, De Niro, Pacino, Pesci working at the height of their powers. But if you watch it at home, there's too many distractions. So every 20 minutes, you go, let me check my phone, then go make a sandwich, do this, do that. Oh, did he die yet? What's going on with Hoffa? So that's an example where I do think you need to have movie theaters for those movies to be appreciated. I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was thrilled to see it win 7 Oscars. You haven't had a movie run the table like that since 2008. Slumdog Millionaire won 8 Oscars. So it's not a bad thing, just like in sports, to have a big team that everyone's trying to beat rather than kind of spread the wealth, as the Oscars has done the last few years. It's nice to be able to say Everything Everywhere All at Once, won 7 Oscars, all the major categories with the exception of Best Actor. I love Banshees of Inisherin, which you can watch on HBO Max. I thought it was really funny. Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson. Shape of Water, 3 Billboards, that's in Ebbing, Missouri. That's like 2017. But to your point, it hasn't been as strong lately for movies. Parasite, I loved, of course, great film from a couple of years ago. So you have to search a little more, right? If you were 10 years ago, everyone was going to the movies. Now people go to the movies to see the big spectacles and those truly smart, independent, engaging films. You kind of find those stories more on the small screen, White Lotus, etc. And to your point, listen, I love a good prestige TV show. I love Succession as much as anybody. On the latest Cinephile episode, as a matter of fact, I had on James Andrew Miller, the great author of the ESPN book, SNL, and HBO, and we talked Succession for 20 minutes. And again, there's an example of a movie star in Brian Cox making just a tremendous show. It's the best show on TV.
Well, it's funny. Here's the transition. The Padres, they used to make them for $2 million, and now they make them for $200 million. And you know what? You can make a good baseball team for less. We've seen it happen with the Tampa Bay Rays and sometimes the Oakland A's. But guess what? It's a lot easier to make a really good baseball team when you put a good budget behind that team, Adnan.
1,000%, fellas. And I just love to see it. I mean, who doesn't love going to San Diego? So every single one of us at MLB Network is cheering for the Padres to make the World Series. We can go to San Diego in October and November. But it really is an incredible success story. I got to call the Mets-Padres June 3rd, I think was the game last year. I remember going and just, being around the team and talking to Padres PR, et cetera. And I'm like, this has really become a great baseball town, as you guys know. And listen, I'm sure you guys miss the Chargers. It's nice, especially working what we do, to have more than one team to really focus on. It's tougher as far as sports rating is concerned. But the Chargers leaving, of course, benefited the Padres. Now it's a one-town team. Obviously, everybody focuses on the Padres. If you're a fan, corporate dollars only going towards one team. And, I was amazed. Attendance last year at Padres, I think we're second or third in the National League. So I'm like, this team has gone from, hey, beautiful San Diego. They win once in a while. They got Tony Gwynn. Okay, sure. Now it's no. They're legit. They're a juggernaut. And I'm amazed, fellas, how many people at the network are saying the Padres are the team to beat in the West. Here's why I'm amazed. As great as San Diego is, as good as their offseason has been, to me, you still finished 22 games behind the Dodgers. And again, I'm rooting for San Diego. I think they have a robust team. But the amount of people are like, no, it's San Diego's division to lose. I'm like, wow, that is quite a change from a year ago and the last couple of years when they've been in the shadow of Big Brother and the Dodgers. But I think winning that series was massive, obviously a great moment in Padres history, and the additions of Xander Bogaerts. And you could discuss all day whether or not an 11-year contract makes sense, $280 million. But the point is, they are clearly better. He's a terrific player. A.J. Preller was given a mandate to spend, and he was going to do so. And the big difference, you can see the advantage they have over the Padres is their pitching. When you look at Los Angeles, you go, all right, they lost Tyler Anderson. I'm not sure how much more Kershaw has left in the tank. Arias is tremendous. Okay, Tony Gonsolin, sure. But with the Padres, you go, dude, Musgrove's a stud. You're trotting out Darvish and Snell. There's arm after arm. If Walker works out, the Padres really feel like they have an embarrassment of riches, especially that advantage of pitching. I know it's when looking at both of their lineups. And even the lineups, actually, as I say that, the Dodgers, okay, Bellinger's not what he once was. He's gone. But you also lost Trey Turner and Justin Turner. And San Diego just adds, you were adding Bogaerts. You're going to get Nando back April 20th. You're getting a full season of Soto. And you can see why so many people are bullish on the Padres.
We're talking to Adnan Virk, and if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you're wondering, where did Woods go? He went out and did a little live TV hit. We got one of the local stations in this morning, Adnan. You know how that works. But I want to ask you about your television show, MLB Tonight with Harold Reynolds. It feels like this is going to feel very familiar to baseball fans who've watched for a long time. What's kind of your plan for this season? How do you kind of make it all come together, each night as you're putting together MLB Tonight?
Well, it's going to be a ton of fun, man. I mean, there's no better place I think that was going to set you up for the night's action than MLB Tonight at 6. I think we're calling it First Pitch, maybe FP. But to work with Harold is going to be awesome. He's a 3-time Emmy Award winner for Best Studio Analyst, and there's a reason why. He's super smart. He's engaging. He's enthusiastic. He does these awesome breakdowns of particular plays or moments in games. And he just understands the business really well and understands baseball well. So we're going to have a blast working together. We're going to really utilize the bells and whistles that MLB Network has, whether it's ballpark cameras, maybe traveling a little bit more, going out. For opening day, he did a breakdown with Aaron Judge, a really cool hitting demo, which I think people are really going to enjoy. And, of course, we're working all of our other great analysts, Chris Young, Bill Ripken, whoever will be available that day. So I think it's going to be great, man. I think if you're a baseball fan, 6 o'clock, you tune into MLB Network, you will get set for that night's action better than anywhere else. I can't wait.
Obviously, the rule changes have been a big story throughout the spring, but I've noticed just in the last couple of days, Major League Baseball, a real push with, advertisements that they're putting on.
The Vogelbach commercial was great.
Yeah,
with Buck Showalter.
To promote all the rule changes. And maybe for fans who aren't as deep into it as we are, they might be surprised at what a baseball game looks like starting tomorrow.
Oh, my God. I mean, I had told my wife about the fact there's a pitch clock down. She's like, really? I'm like, well, you don't understand how fast these games are going to go. Last year, the average baseball game was 3 hours and 5 minutes. These spring training games were 2.5 hours. That is a dramatic way to curb your time. If you're talking about half an hour of trimming the fat of a baseball game, I mean, I can't wait. Obviously, you guys are on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. A 7:07 first pitch for a Yankees game. That game's going to be done by 9:40, 9:45. That's great. I can be in bed by 10, or I can watch some of the West Coast games. Hopefully, the Padres doing well, and still feel like I've got a full night of baseball action in the tank. So I think you're right. A lot of fans, the way the sports calendar goes, people are watching basketball, they're watching hockey, they're into March Madness. They're aware of rule changes, but they might not realize how dramatic they are. So when they turn on the TV to watch opening day on Thursday, they're going to go, wow, this really does pick up the pace, and there's more action within the game as well because of the fact the shift has now been banned, because there's only one step off, only one throw to first, bigger bases, hopefully more stolen bases. And I'm with you guys. I think the marketing department's been great. I saw the Herald Tribune the other day, Bryan Cranston's video, talking about the new rules, saying, get that shift out of here. It's going to be great, man. I think everyone's really on board and excited to see what happens this year.
Well, and with every rule change, it's going to take some getting used to. Even for me, I was watching the first spring training game, and it felt very speedy. And I know that they were calling it to the letter of the law. Do you think there will be a little bit of interpretation left up to the umpires, which, by the way, Adnan, I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, and sometimes the abuse of power on the baseball field, we see it with umpires. Do you think that's a good thing? And do you think that there will be like a basketball official? Well, we'll probably call it late in the game. We're not going to call it now. I mean, or do you think they're going to be pretty stringent?
No, it's a great question. And one of my colleagues, Matt Yalif, asked somebody from the league when they're explaining those rules. And it's exactly what you said. Because how many times you watch an NFL game and you see the clock go down to 0, and then they don't get called for delay games? You're never actually sure, like, is this umpire discretion? What happened? So I think particularly that rule about with 8 seconds left, the hitter has to be in a position where he's ready to take the pitch. Like that, there could be some disparity there, right? Like, he kind of looked down for a second. I don't think he was ready. What do you mean? I was just looking down. I'm ready to go. Like, it's fine. You have to be in the batter's box, ready to go 8 seconds. I mean, that was the first one. I think it was, I can't remember what was the player, but it was with 5 seconds left. He wasn't Machado. It was with 5 seconds left, and it called him on that violation. He's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm in the box. What do you want from me? So I think the good news about spring training is that you have that time to acclimate and to work through any kinks. And the biggest thing to me is someone said, well, who's it going to favor, the pitchers and the hitters? And I said, well, obviously, it's case dependent. If a pitcher is grooving, if Musgrove's giving up 3 hits through 6, obviously the pitch clock is helping him because he's in a rhythm. But if a pitcher is struggling, if Blake Snell's giving up 3 runs in the first 3 innings, he's like, God, I wish I could take a breather, but I can't because this damn clock is going. I got to throw the pitch. But obviously, it's favoring the hitters. So it's really going to be dependent upon all of them. And you're right, the umpires are going to have a very important rule. I hope that they're more laissez-faire and give guys the benefit of the doubt. Don't call it by the letter of the law, because we've seen in other sports how frustrating that can be when the refs become a part of the story rather than just be in the background.
Last thing for me, Adnan Virk, MLB Network. Would you make any changes to the World Baseball Classic the next time around, or was this the best form of that tournament that we could possibly have seen?
It's the best I've seen so far, fellas. In the past, being Canadian, I'd always watch the first 2 games. Canada would get trounced, and I'd find something else to do. But this year, because Mark DeRosa is the manager, a colleague and friend from MLB Network, I said, I'm really going to watch this here. And I thought it was terrific. Canada, unfortunately, still didn't get trounced. We love Ernie Witt. But I watched Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic on a Friday night. I go, this is amazing. I just knew this is going to be a great game, and it was. Now, unfortunately, Diaz's injury cast a pall over the entire game, the entire team, the entire WBC. But I'm of the type to say, listen, injuries do happen. Now, granted, we would normally not be jumping up and down with teammates in the middle of March. That exacerbated the situation. But injuries do happen. It's unfortunate. Trust me. If I'm a Mets fan, I'm furious. Altuve being hurt for the Astros, that's painful. Him being out until May. But there's no other perfect time to do it. I mean, obviously, November, December would make more sense. End of the season, a lot of Latin players playing the winter leagues. But you can't go head-to-head with the NFL. The whole point is, the TV money is so important, especially here in America. So I think it's an imperfect time to do it. But I thought as far as the tournament went, it was tremendous. You had one Goliath being slain in the Dominican Republic. You had 2 Goliaths going head-to-head in USA Japan. You had a 1-run game as a final, and Ohtani versus Trout to end it, 2 of the 3 best players in baseball. I mean, a screenwriter couldn't write a better script than that. It was very compelling, and it was great to see USA do so well. I mean, I'm never forgetting those Trey Turner home runs and the emotion that they showed in that team. It was, to me, an exciting tournament. And again, I was not a big WBC guy, but after this tournament, I will definitely be watching in 2026.
Catch Adnan Virk with Harold Reynolds on MLB Tonight all season on MLB Network. Now that's 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific. We're going to be at least an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours setting up for the game. So it's going to be awesome.
Outstanding. Adnan, appreciate your time. That was a lot of fun.
Ben and Woods, I appreciate it. Did Woods come back from the live
here.
remote?
No, I am here.
Okay, you're there. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you're locked at the live. You're back. I love it. This was very good teamwork by all of us. And shout out to Adam Klug.
Shout out to the Kluger. We love him. Thank you, buddy.
Adnan Virk with us
boys.
on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. Yeah, that's a fun guy.
I think I bailed on my hit too early. I thought she was done.
And you just left in the middle of the television
I
hit.
think I did.
All right, I'm done, I guess. Okay, we'll find out. What? No, they say you're okay. Okay, they say he did okay. He just didn't wander off in the middle of a live television segment. Like, no, we're still on the air. I think Woods doesn't realize TV goes so much faster than radio. It's like over before it even starts. You do you do a live hit, and well, I mean, it's quick.
Heather, come on.
It's quick, and then you're done, and then you wait around for another half an hour, and you do it all over again. It's not like this show, Woods, where you sit down and you expand every 1 minute into a 15-minute conversation. In TV, you take a 15-minute conversation and you cram it into like a minute and 30 seconds.
Heather Lake, our beloved from Fox 5, joins us here. Heather, we got to go to traffic.
Okay.
And let's go to traffic.
Then we'll talk to
right
Heather
here.
while she's here.
All
yes.
right, stay here.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Freeways are in good shape this morning, guys. I do want to mention this rollover crash in Lemon Grove, though. You get some traffic control in place. Federal between MacArthur and San Miguel. This is just south of the 94, so they're advising that you avoid that area. Again, that is Federal between MacArthur and San Miguel. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department's working hard to keep San Diego safe and is now hiring. The Sheriff's Department offers rewarding careers with growth and has an opportunity for anyone with integrity that wants to make a difference. Go to joinsdsheriff.net to learn more. That's joinsdsheriff.net. I'm Kelly Danica with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So we got about a minute and a half. So about the length of a TV hit here.
Thank you for explaining.
And Heather Lake from Fox 5 is here. So how did he do? How did Woods perform?
Oh, he was
that hit?
great.
Thank you,
we
thank
just
you.
talk like old friends.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Very
old
natural.
friends. That's how it goes.
Yeah. It's good to have you here. Thanks for coming
guys.
in. You're excited about opening day as well, but you were just telling us we know the rain is coming, but we just don't know how bad is it going to be.
So there is a possibility. Well, we know the tarp's going to be on the morning for
Absolutely.
sure, right? So the morning rain
Absolutely.
looks like it's going to be the worst. You guys all know in San Diego, you know Chrissy Russo. So her and I have been looking at the models and the forecast and seeing what's going on, and we're like, there's a possibility for thunderstorms as well. So that will definitely delay the game. But it looks like most of it could stay in our mountain areas. So we're looking at that. But then the biggest thing is rain, where you could see spotty to scattered showers. And then, it looks like it's going into the afternoon right now.
Stay right here.
The producer's in my ear saying, wrap it up. We got to go to break.
We'll be
so
right
we
back.
will come back.
Go to break.
More with Heather Lake from Fox 5, and we'll play a little Take on Woods as well. You can actually hear the producer in my ear right now, Paul Reindl, doing it right there live on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Oh, I think the most common conversation in all of San Diego right now is the possibility of rain tomorrow.
It's just
it's what everybody asks about. I ask about it 5 times a day at work.
Yeah, I'm checking my
When
phone.
is it going to start? When is it going to end? How is it going to look? Are we going to be able to get the game in? Will it be delayed? What's going on? And that's what we were talking about with Heather Lake during the break as well. Just what are you hearing from your meteorologist, and what am I hearing from our meteorologists? And I don't think they really know, unfortunately. I mean, we're all kind of guessing a little bit about what happens tomorrow.
Isn't that kind of what a lot of the science is? It's not a correct, perfect science, which I think we're all like, well, we would just have to wait and see.
The old wait and see, but you have to be prepared, right? Be prepared for the worst. Bring your rubbers, bring your slickers, bring your don't bring your umbrella. I don't know. We're going to talk to Eric Greupner, Padres CEO, at 8:00. We'll ask him, what's your umbrella policy?
Here's the deal. It was good luck for us, right? We played the Dodgers. We had rain last season. I was there. It was epic. All of us stood out there in the rain. I told everyone on Fox 5 as part of my forecast to bring your rain jacket. Yeah. Nobody listened. It rained. We won. So there we go.
Yeah, playing in the rain. I mean, you can do it in baseball. The problem
Blink 182 in the rain. It's iconic.
Yeah,
now.
it's absolutely iconic.
A legendary moment in this town.
But you definitely you want to be prepared for the worst. I like that sometimes it has the ability to surprise you, though, when you're like, oh my God, do I see the sun peeking through the clouds? It was supposed to be, it was supposed to be overcast. It's actually going to be really, really nice. You never know. I'm holding a good thought, certainly, because, well, I mean, it's every other day this week has been beautiful. Just phenomenal, beautiful weather.
And we told people today you're probably going to wake up and it's going to look a little different. Yeah. So we have some clouds rolling in, but here's the deal. Just pack for a long day. You're going to anyway for opening day. That's right. And grab a rain jacket and just be ready for some delays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Be prepared when you're out there. We need a contestant for Take on Woods coming up in just a couple of minutes. 833-288-0973. Chance to qualify for a getaway to Las Vegas. Concert tickets to see 38 Special live in concert while you're in Vegas. But we also, before we play our game, we teased a bit of a special announcement here in the 7:00 hour about our Padres coverage and our baseball coverage here in 2023.
Man, I am very excited about what we are about to talk about. Yeah, you guys too?
Very much so.
So one day, over the last couple of years, our goal is to bring you guys the best possible baseball coverage that we can bring you. And we want to bring interesting characters into the fold. And we love talking about this team. We love talking about baseball as a whole, all of baseball in minor leagues. It doesn't matter. We all love the game. And we have developed a relationship over the last year or two with the guys from Cespedes Family Barbecue. And one of the best podcasts in baseball going right now. So
only had them on. We had them on at the winter meetings. Yeah, we got to meet them.
They were awesome
in person. They were great. Jake and Jordan.
We
ran into Jordan out at spring training.
He was there to see Brent Honeywell.
Yeah, happened to be there the same day we were. And then we had Jordan on a couple weeks ago. I think, was it just you and me?
Yeah, it was you and I.
were you there?
I was here for that one.
I thought you might have
all
been
those
on
vacations
one of your
run together.
It runs together. It does. But no, I thank you to our sponsor, by the way, for getting this done, helping us get this done. Our sponsor, it's going to be Grand Ole Barbecue, the official barbecue of the San Diego Padres. Also, it's going to be Cespedes Family Barbecue, brought to you by Grand Ole Barbecue, which is just the greatest thing ever. And every Monday, guys, during baseball season, we're having the Cespedes boys on. I'm very proud of this. I'm very excited about it. So to run through the entire list of coverage.
So we've got now a full week of baseball signature guests for you all season long.
Yeah.
Here on Ben and Woods.
They're going to alternate weeks, I think. We'll probably get them a couple of times together as well, but Monday one will be Jordan. The next week you'll hear from Jake, and then Jordan, and then Jake.
Yep. Sometimes they'll probably jump on together, but one of the guys from Cespedes will be there every Monday. So that's our new addition to the Ben and Woods family.
I think we need what do we call it? Sammy regular season.
Sammy regular season.
I think a Monday with Sammy regular season would also be great. He doesn't know that, but I'm volunteering him right now.
Yeah, we'll get that done.
I kind of like Sammy San Diego. I think that rolls off the tongue a little bit better.
Sounds like an adult film star, actually. Sammy Schlong. No? All right, so we'll get Sammy San Diego. No, I don't like that.
All right, Sammy regular season.
That sounds terrible, too. Sammy?
Sammy spring training, and then Sammy We'll figure it out.
We'll workshop.
It's a working title.
We don't have a final title for
so
Sam.
Let's call it Sammy and Cespedes Barbecue on Monday every week during the season.
Correct. Tuesday will be visited by voice of the Padres, Jesse Agler.
Incorporate.
As he's done for the past several seasons, we will have Jesse on Tuesdays.
Just the best. Just for the segment, one of the segments I look most forward to. Every Wednesday, we will have, as we will have today, the great Adam Jones, all-star, just loose cannon, as it lets it fly. We love Adam Jones, the player's perspective.
An influential voice in baseball now.
Very much
Major
so.
League Baseball,
I can
someone that
speak
they're
for
really...
at least the majority of the tier ones, like probably our all-time favorite guest, right? I mean, everybody loses their minds every single time he comes on because he
tells
he's
like
got the experience and all of that, but he doesn't come on and talk to you like polished broadcaster that's going to be neutral and doesn't want to hurt any feelings. No. We usually have to hit the dump button.
He likes to say, kiss my whole ass. He loves to say, kiss my whole ass on our airwaves. So he'll be on Wednesdays, which is phenomenal. Thursday will be Eno Saris, brought to you by our friends at 7 Mile Casino. Thank you guys for that. Eno is one of the smartest guys in the game and has developed now a metric that is now used by Fangraphs and StatCast. He's brilliant, and he breaks the game down differently. And then, of course, Friday is going to be Friar Friday. So the management report, I think we're beholden to the management report. So that means Bob Melvin, AJ Preller, Eric Greupner, whatever. But man,
Peter Seidler on occasion. Yeah,
absolutely. So guys, this is what
it's a hell of a lineup.
It's really solid lineup. It's kind of like the Padres lineup. You know, it's just stacked from top to bottom.
Murderers Row, but all with a little bit of a different perspective,
exactly,
a unique twist that they're going to bring throughout the season. I am looking so forward to this. It's, to me, the best kind of radio.
Yeah,
is when you can develop a real a chemistry with your guests, and it's hard to do. I mean, Adnan was great, but we'll probably talk to him maybe again in 3 or 4 months. When you get to talk to someone every single week and they become part of the show, they become part of the family of Ben and Woods when you have them on regularly. But you also they've got to be someone who brings something to the table that is going to be able to mix it up from time to time. And I think all of the people that we have on for baseball season can do that. No one is ever going to get tired of listening to Jesse or the Cespedes Family Barbecue guys. Certainly not AJ, definitely not Eno. And then the management report obviously is must listen every Friday.
I'm so excited about it. This is when you have this platform, this is what you want to do with it, honestly. And I'm very, very excited about it. Excited to deliver that for you guys, the tier ones out there.
And then I was texting with Jordan Schusterman from Cespedes Barbecue yesterday. He is so excited. They're both stoked. Excited. Yeah. And if we were putting out a press release, the quote from Jordan Schusterman would be, "Truly honored to be considered a part of your lineup. Also, no better station and show and city to be involved with baseball wise. It's a no-brainer."
I'm fired up.
All right, now part 2 of our announcement that we teased is what is going to be happening tomorrow when we're out at Happy Does, 6 to 10 a.m. Our opening day broadcast live in the Gas Lamp. Special guest who's going to be joining us in person at 9 a.m. None other than the newest member going to be inducted into the Padres Hall of Fame later this summer. Jake Peavy is going to be stopping by tomorrow at Happy Does during our Ben and Woods opening day broadcast.
I am so excited for this. I've been wanting to interview. By the way, so Jake does some hits on MLB Network. Crushes.
Great breakdown of Blake Snell yesterday.
Dude, he knocks it out of the park. He is incredible. I will tell him that to his face tomorrow. I will, just for the record. You know what I have to ask him. I do have to ask him about his taint. I do have to ask him. You know that.
You don't have to.
The icy hot.
The icy hot on the taint is something that will be asked of Jake Peavy to his face tomorrow. Do you want to do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do it at the end in case he
I would
isn't
not
happy with that.
I wouldn't deprive you of that pleasure of getting to ask Jake that question. Well, I'm not going to steal your thunder right there.
First time for everything.
But you nailed it, dude. Like, how many times you see like former players go out onto MLB Network or FS1 or whatever, they try it, and it's just it takes a long time for them to figure it out. And he has jumped right in. And he has been so good. I was watching him yesterday. He was talking about Snell and Musgrove and
before
He's
his
in the makeup room.
That would really get you going on television. You would be
you get locked in.
Locked in for sure.
You would get locked in. God, I'm excited about that.
So hey, you're invited to come on down, Tier 1s. Come say hi not only to us, but say hi to Jake Peavy. He's going to be out there tomorrow throwing out the first ceremonial first pitch at the game, and you can meet him beforehand at Happy Does, 9 a.m. down in the Gas Lamp. We'll be broadcasting live right there, 5th Avenue.
Funny story quickly before we get a contestant for Take on Woods. He's the first celebrity I saw when I moved to San Diego. I went to a car dealership with my first host here, and I'd been in town for a day. And who was there getting his car fixed? Jake Peavy. And I remember standing there going, that's Jake Peavy. My other host had no idea who he was. 2010, right when I moved here. And I just was like
3 years removed from his Cy Young Award.
And I just went, oh my God. The first guy I ever saw, I was too afraid to say hello. Be the first time I ever met him. So I'm really excited about tomorrow.
All right, let's get to it. It is time to play some Take on Woods. All right, I think we got Brandon as our contestant today. Brandon, good morning. Welcome to Take on Woods.
Good morning.
All right.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good, and you'll be doing even better if you can beat or tie Woods in our 5-question musical trivia challenge. If you do, you will qualify for our monthly grand prize drawing. It is a getaway to Las Vegas, 2 nights at the Westgate Las Vegas, and a couple of tickets to see 38 Special in concert on April 28th at the International Theater at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Woods has left the studio. He'll go second. You get to go first, and you get to pick our category today. Here are your choices. We bring back Angels Among Us, answers including the word angel. From Your Lips, answers that include the word lips. And Way Station, songs that include the word way in the title. So, Angels Among Us, From Your Lips, or Way Station. Brandon, what's it going to be?
Let's try Angels Among Us.
Angels Among Us. Okay, you've got 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. Say pass, we'll move on to the next one. We can come back if there's time left on the clock. Our first question is our 2-second song. Yeah, Woods just came back in for a second. He didn't hear anything, though. Don't worry. 2-second song. Paulie will play a short clip of a hit. You need to give me the title and the artist to score the point there. Remember the category. Every answer includes the word angel. Brandon, are you ready to play?
All right, let's give it a try.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. That seems like a challenging category. We'll see. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Category Angels Among Us. Good luck, Brandon. Let's take on Woods.
I need a sign to let me know you're here.
Let's go back to that one.
The Australian band Real Life had enough success with which 1983 song that they re-recorded it in 1989 when it hit the top 30 in the charts again. Correct. The 1992 Fox television show The Heights was canceled after 3 months, but which theme song performed by Jamie Walters hit #1 on the Billboard Top 100 charts?
I Am Your Angel.
Incorrect. In the 2000s, San Diego's Tom DeLonge formed which band during a Blink-182 hiatus?
I'll come back to that one.
Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes said which song from the band's first album is about a heroin-addicted girl?
Angela.
Incorrect. Let's go back to our 2-second song.
I need a sign to let me know you're here.
Oh, gosh. I feel like I know this one, but it's not grabbing onto me right now.
That's all right. It was a tough category. You did
That
get
was
to send
really
me
tough.
an angel. Very tough category today. So the song was Calling All Angels by Train. How Do You Talk to an Angel was the Heights theme song by Jamie Walters. Angels and Airwaves was Tom DeLonge's other band during the Blink-182 hiatus. And She Talks to Angels is the Black Crowes hit. You'd know it if you heard it for sure. But you got 1 point. That was good enough for a tie, by the way, yesterday. So don't go anywhere, Brandon. I have no idea what's going to happen here in the second half of our Take on Woods game. Brandon's score is locked in. Woods back into the studio. 60 seconds back on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Brandon.
I need a sign to let me know you're here.
Train, but I don't know what song it is. Pass.
The Australian band Real Life had enough success with which 1983 song that they re-recorded it in 1989 when it hit the top 30 in the charts again?
What's the name of the band?
Real Life.
Pass.
The 1992 Fox television show The Heights was canceled after 3 months, but which theme song performed by Jamie Walters hit #1 on the Billboard Top 100 charts?
Jamie Walters? Pass.
In the 2000s, San Diego's Tom DeLonge formed which band during a Blink-182 hiatus?
Angels and Airwaves.
Correct. Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes said which song from the band's first album?
Angels.
Correct. Go back to our 2-second song.
Calling all you angels strange.
Correct. The Australian band Real Life had enough success with which 1983 song?
Send me an angel.
Correct. The 1992 Fox television show The Heights was canceled.
The Lips of an Angel.
Oh, so close, but you got 4 out of the 5. It's How Do You Talk to an Angel?
How do you talk?
But nice pickup on the category that just opened the floodgates for a 4-1 win for Woods. I thought it might be a 0 for a second.
I was cursing.
And then all of a sudden, it just all came to you.
Once I got Angel.
Angel was the category, and boom, 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 boom. Woods just started reeling off answers. Brandon, sorry, no win today, but thank you for playing our game. You are absolutely free to try again later this month.
Remember the story of Jamie Walters?
I have no idea anything about Jamie Walters other than he recorded How Do You Talk to an Angel?
So he was in Beverly Hills 90210. He was Donna's boyfriend that
not David, though.
Not David. It was after David. He hit her in the show, and it was obviously a huge deal.
Very special episode of Beverly Hills 90210.
He got death threats and was typecast, and people, I want to say ended his acting career. He's like, I was literally just playing a role in a show. I don't actually.
Kind of like King Joffrey on
King Joffrey, who just quit
Game of Thrones.
He just quit acting. But it's like, nobody ever watched Joe Pesci stab a guy in the throat with a pen and go, well, you can't hire that guy. He's clearly a sociopath. Why is it with some people? It just doesn't he's a really good actor. He's actually a domestic abuser, so we can't hire him. It was nuts. But I remember, because I loved that show when I was a kid. So, crazy. That song's terrible too.
Good job though on the game today, Woods. We got Don't Do This coming up next. I always I'm always worried that this is going to happen, but a media member reports something and then gets put in their place by the subject of the report. Had an incident where that happened yesterday.
Kind of why I'm scared to break news.
I get it. I totally get it. We'll get to that coming up next after a check of traffic. It's Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Don't do this.
It's time for Don't Do This.
What were you thinking?
3 stories from the world of sports that make us all shake our heads.
Why? How many times do I have to tell you?
I'm sorry, I fudged up, guys.
You idiot. You moron.
Dumbass. The apple sometimes does fall from the tree.
Don't do this.
Do not tweet that.
With Ben and Woods.
I like a Nickelback song or two.
On 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, we just told you about our special guest. You can join 97.3 The Fan, Ben Woods, and the coach, John Quintera, tomorrow at Happy Does, 340 5th Avenue for opening day, presented by Coors Light, made to chill. Jake Peavy is going to join us at 9 a.m. We'll be broadcasting live from 6 a.m. until noon, leading up to the opener and giving away Padres autographed baseballs. Come on out, say hi to us, say hi to Jake Peavy, and get a little early start to the opening day festivities tomorrow morning at Happy Does.
Super excited.
All right, I'll start with a don't do this story. A lot of people in the NFL unhappy about what NFL owners decided to do at their annual meetings in Phoenix this week.
Okay.
So can we all agree Thursday night football is usually an abomination?
Yes.
Compared to Sunday or Monday games, it never seems to live up to the hype. We've had like 2 good Thursday night games over the last feels like 5 years.
Yeah, agreed.
But they just want to keep pushing it on us. And
Okay.
it's because they make a ton of money. You know, they got Amazon now involved in these Thursday night games. And yesterday, they decided to modify the existing rule, which was teams would only have to play once on Thursday night. Now, teams can be asked to play 2 games on Thursday nights over the course of a regular season.
When you told me off the air, you said they're adding a Thursday game. I'm like, what are they going to start at noon?
No, it's
now?
not. It's
What's
not a
going
doubleheader.
on?
It'll still be just the one Thursday game, but you can have a team assigned to multiple Thursday games. It's not
That's tough, dude.
I think there was a lot of players who like, okay, we can do it once, we get through it, then we get a little extra time to recover the next week.
But we just finished a game against the Lions on Sunday. We got to be ready now in 3 days, essentially.
It's such a hard thing to
turnaround
ask.
is gnarly.
People were saying you're going to get more players injured by doing this. Roger Goodell said, we have the data. We don't see more injuries on Thursday night.
Shocker.
I mean, I don't know if I believe it or not.
Concussion data as well in the NFL front office, didn't they? The front offices, they did.
They
had
have all that
data as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But
How'd that work?
the one thing that they did table was flexing Thursday night games. So at this point,
if you're in, you're in.
They're not going to tell you on Sunday night, oh, by the way, you thought you had a week to get ready for this game?
You don't.
3 days now. You've been flexed into Thursday night. They have not, but they may still vote on that later at their next meeting. So I just don't know. I mean, I guess if you're going to watch Thursday games, you want better teams in there is their idea. And you don't have to, Titans Colts is not the Thursday night game every single year like it seems to be. But it's it'll suck for, the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes tweeted I think it was a poop emoji on that story yesterday because he knows, I wonder which team's going to be asked to play twice on Thursday night football.
He knows damn well who it's going to be. So. Oh, my gosh. You guys, Paul, you ever jump out of a plane?
No.
Any desire?
Strangely enough, I don't like flying, and I'm scared of heights. And for some reason, I do have skydiving on my bucket list, but I've never done it.
All right, Ben, never jumped out of a plane.
Never.
Any desire?
No, not really.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know why. It's like I feel like I need to conquer that, maybe.
I've always said.
I'm not really afraid of heights. I like a good view.
Ugh.
Yes,
but
I get a little nervous.
I don't know about the free-falling aspect. That, to me, does not sound appealing.
It's pretty tough even on a roller coaster sometimes when you go down the big
Yeah,
thing,
I don't
right?
like that.
Right.
I'm not really cut out for it either. This was pretty gnarly. This was there was actually in Lake Elsinore, a California skydivers jump on Monday. It almost ended as poorly as you can imagine. Now you may be thinking, oh no, the chute didn't open. No, the chute opened, but she crash landed into what would be one of the worst things to crash land into. How about a power line? How about you're cruising down, you want to land, and you go, oh God, I'm heading right for those power lines. So the Riverside County Fire Department, they got a call and said there is a skydiver and she is stuck in the power lines.
Dangling from the
power lines.
Crap.
40 minutes she dangled. 40. It is 7:30.
The electricity crackling above you.
Talk to me at 8:10. And that's how
right
long
when we hang up with Eric Greupner.
Yes. That's
She's
how
dangling.
long she's dangling, going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I mean, they must have had to shut off the power.
They had to cut the power lines. They had to shut them off. So, it was, oh, by the way, it was her first time jumping with her own equipment. Now, her equipment did work properly. It was in perfect working order, they said, but she got confused. She got discombobulated up there and flew away from an open landing area to the power lines. And I read that story and I went, how could you possibly make skydiving worse by having some power lines nearby that you could land into? So that is definitely a don't do this, but also a do this because she did make it out safely.
True.
And thank you to the people that went and rescued her in Lake Elsinore and Riverside.
And I kind of have a mixed half don't do this, half do this story
mega do
as well from the world of college basketball. College basketball reporter Dan Dockich may need to check on his sources. He tweeted out a quote-unquote report yesterday. My people are telling me Zach Edey, the Purdue, the 6'7" big man for Purdue player of the year, is in the transfer portal. The transfer portal and NIL suck. Well, you know what the do this I like is that there's one way to handle this. If you were an athlete and you don't think a report is very good, 4 minutes later, Zach Edey himself tweeted, my sources are telling me this is false.
Wow. From the horse's mouth.
Yeah. So apparently it turned out that Dockich's people weren't really all that. He got duped by an account pretending to be ESPN college basketball insider Jeff Borzello, but it wasn't really. It was Pelzier was the actual name of the Twitter account. And he thought that was a real report and then passed it off as his own sources, which weren't true. And he got shot down by Zach Edey himself very quickly.
Seen it many times.
Got to be careful with that.
Don't get duped.
And that's don't and do this for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, if you heard the announcement earlier, he is back for another season of Wednesdays on Ben
Let's
and Woods.
go.
Adam Jones, the All-Star, will join us when we come back on the eve of opening day on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, a little extended bumper music there as we say goodbye to Heather Lake. We thank her for stopping by with her television cameras from Fox 5, giving a little free publicity for Ben and Woods.
What it's like for you every day? I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
TV hit after TV hit after TV hit.
And trying to be dynamic, and God bless Ben.
I was wondering if I was going to get invited on. It was a little awkward, obviously.
Yeah, you work for a competitor.
I work for a competitor, so we let Woods do most of the TV stuff out there. You looked like you did a great job.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear what you said, so I can't officially rule, but you look comfortable. You looked like you were representing our show well.
Well, I work with one of the best, so I know exactly what's expected of me. My wife sent me a picture of my 2-year-old staring at the TV. Said he would not take his eyes off the TV when I was on it, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, at least he thinks I did a great job. So that's
we can put on a picture of Bo and Taylor on the TV, and then he can see himself on TV if we really wanted to. We could do that.
He'd lose his mind.
We're going to have Adam Jones joining us. Do we have him locked in?
Still waiting for him to get here.
Waiting for him to join the Zoom any second. All right, we'll check traffic. We'll come back. We'll lock in AJ for his first in-season appearance of 2023.
I've got a hitting question for him based on a podcast that I listened to last night about Tony Gwynn by our buddy Matt Janella. I've got a hitting question for Adam Jones. I'm really excited to get to the bottom of it.
All right, we'll do that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
We got rain on the way, guys. Dry roads for the most part, but you wouldn't think so with all these crashes. What's going on? Northbound side of the 805 at Palm Avenue. We still have this overturn crash in the center divide. Up ahead near the 15, there is another accident. Looks like about 2 is in the center divide. Also going to find on the eastbound 54 just past Briarwood, hit and run crash. No details as to whether that's blocking lanes. Southbound side of the 125, just before Hamishaw, we have reports of a collision that is blocking the 2 left lanes. And on the northbound side of the 125, right before the 8, stalled car in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
We have a commenter.
What?
Get some music going for Adam Jones. We have a commenter on the YouTube stream who says that when Adam Jones attended Morse High School, they asked him in class what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he knew. He said he wanted to be a major leaguer. Now, most people are you tell most kids, don't count on becoming a professional athlete. Only the smallest percentage of people actually get to live that dream and get to be a pro ball player. Now, Adam, as he joins us on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline, good to see you, my friend. Did you have a backup plan?
Same to you.
Did you have a backup plan, or was it major leagues or bust?
No, I mean, I had a backup plan. My parents would have killed me if I was just, athlete, sports, and nothing else. I know I carried a good GPA also, and I like PR and public relations. I was PR and public relations, same thing. But no, I liked the sports world and industry, in a way, and not necessarily like the journalism side, but just being in the sports world. So I felt if I was, good enough to just make it in the physical part, my personality would keep me in the verbal part.
Well, here he is. He lived his dream, and now he's living his backup plan, getting to do all kinds of stuff in the sports world. Unfortunately, the YouTube stream's a little locked up here. The Zoom with Adam, so we'll get him try to lock back in. We see you, Adam. We just can't really hear you right now.
Fix your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, he's at such a lovely location. He's outside. It looks like a beautiful day wherever he is, but maybe he's strayed too far from the YouTube or the Wi-Fi stream because we are not hearing him. We're just seeing like a still frozen picture of Adam Jones on our screen, unfortunately. So, all right, well, that didn't work out so well.
Super fun.
I'll give him a call here.
Try to figure out the technical difficulties. What was the question you wanted to ask him?
So I'm listening to, our buddy Matt Janella, who runs the Fire Pit Collective, did a podcast that he's been working on for a long time. Since we met him for the first time, Ben. And Tony Gwynn was his favorite player of all time. No big surprise there.
Growing up in the Bay Area, a little different, but he just fell in love. Loved Tony Gwynn's game and was a giant Tony Gwynn fan from childhood.
And so he's been working on this thing forever, talked to a ton of people for it. You can hear it if you go to the Fire Pit Collective, listen to that. I listened to it, the whole first episode yesterday. It's brilliant. But they talked about hitting, and it was Trevor Hoffman talking to Tony Gwynn about hitting. And the old, do you think you could hit my changeup?
I did hear this part, yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, I would have recognized your fingers on the ball. Now, everyone said to a man, Tony had the best vision of all time. Like, no one had better vision than Tony Gwynn. That's obviously a big help in hitting. And I wanted to get Adam Jones' perspective on what he would look for in certain pitchers, before he took the plate against him, and when did that preparation start? All of that. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, the fact that he could identify so quickly where the ball was coming, the spin, it gave him, and you had Greg Maddux and John Smoltz were talking about it as well. It gives the hitters, it's a timing thing. It gives them a chance to react. And Tony Gwynn had more time essentially to react than any other player. They said you couldn't get him off balance because you could not fool him. So he was always right in tempo. I mean, he didn't hit 1,000 because it's still, a round bat and a round ball, and sometimes you hit it right at someone, but he had a better chance of putting it where he wanted to and hitting it hard than really any other baseball player that lived.
I think we got Adam Jones
okay,
back.
He went inside. He was trying to
he was trying to give us
a little
great
farther
background.
away from the Wi-Fi.
Got you.
I was trying to be generous to my family because they always get mad that I take up all the space in the house. You're always on something. Hey, man, you guys like to do stuff, too.
I feel bad now.
This is way better.
All right, this is way better.
Haters.
So I wanted to ask you a hitting question, Adam. So in your preparation to hit on 162 games, 4 to 5 ABs a day, it's a lot. It's a lot of preparation. So each pitcher you look at, were you able to pick up? We was listening to a podcast about Tony Gwynn who said, I could see Trevor's fingers holding a changeup, so I would know the changeup was coming, so I would be on time for the changeup. And I was thinking about it last night, and I go, we're talking to Adam Jones. What kind of preparation did you do? Were you able to pick up, did you look at arm slot and where the ball was coming from? All of that stuff, because it's fascinating to me. No, he's shaking his head. Nope. See ball, hit ball?
It was more like the simple questions of like, how hard you throwing? How does it appear to be? You know what I mean? Because some people throw 92, 93, but it's like a hard 92. Some people throw 100 into a soft 100. How does that fastball feel? How's it slider? Like I want to see the movement and the velocity opposed to, where's this and this and all like that. That's too much thinking.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn was great because he's a master of thought. Also, my head would have exploded trying to do all that. So I just was really worried about see the ball. Watch him throw. Whenever a new pitcher comes in, I always was keen to making sure I watched him throw. Even when I got out there early and I seen new pitchers playing catch, I always watched them throw and see how their slot was and just watched them play catch. So, and then when I get to see him in the game, I made sure that if it wasn't somebody I knew, I watched him throw and try to just time him, even if I wasn't even hitting that inning per se at in the 1 through 4 slots for the inning. I just made sure I looked at him, but I just wanted to know velocity and all that other stuff because thinking too much, you guys know me a little bit. Not my strong suit.
It's not for everybody, right? I mean, that's that style of hitting like Tony did, pouring over it scientifically. That's not for everybody. But, he had the elite vision and the elite ability they were talking about. The one of the cool things, the cool stories in there is they said there was one way to get him out, and they all learned it later in their careers. They started throwing their changeups harder. So he'd pick up the changeup grip, but they were throwing it harder instead of softer and taking stuff off it. They would throw it hard at him
into the mic,
and they would get him off. They would get him off balance, which is fascinating to me. Lost him.
No, he's there. He's just thinking. Yeah, he's just pondering your comment about Tony Gwynn and the hard changeup. I think.
I don't think he heard.
Oh, it's just hard. I mean, it's hard to see that stuff, but he could. But he also could lay off of it. He could foul stuff off. I couldn't do all that stuff, unfortunately. I wish I could.
So, Adam, opening day is tomorrow here in San Diego around baseball. You went through a ton of them, especially in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part of opening day? Was there a part that you didn't really love about opening day?
Well, it's weird for me right now because this is my real first opening day, not even around baseball. Last year I was in Arizona. At least here I'm in Spain, and literally there's nothing saying baseball around me whatsoever. So that's still a little bit surreal, but I mean everything. It's a new beginning. Guys making their first opening day starts, guys making their major league debuts. You got to remember that there's gonna be a lot of that guys doing that. A fresh everything for the fans, fresh energy, fresh smell of the grass after being sat on for 4 months. There's just so many freshness and bursts, and optimism. Obviously, a lot more teams have more optimism than others, but in San Diego, obviously the optimism is extremely high. The expectations are extremely high, and I just hope that the Padres players meet the energy of the fans and vice versa. And it's going to be a long season, and tomorrow starts it all. So it's just a blessing to be able to go out there and do it. The only annoying part was just making sure I had enough tickets. You know what I mean? But once I got got my contract, I just bought the suite, and I was like, hey, there you go. And obviously, guys with wives and long-term deals, put it off to your wife. Your wife always does it better, and she makes sure that you won't forget anybody, mainly your parents. I remember one time I sat my dad away from the upper deck.
Your dad to the upper deck?
Oh my God.
He's never let you forget that one.
That's amazing.
He was like, man, what the hell? Everybody sit down there, and I sit up here. So it's like, it was funny. Everybody taking pictures, put it on Facebook, and he just say, "Where I'm not in no pictures or nothing."
Do you when they do the opening introductions and everyone lines up for the national anthem? Do you enjoy? Is that like a special part of it? Or are you more like, can we just get on with this and play the game?
Hell no. You want to hear whose roar is the biggest?
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Oh. It's a measuring contest, boys. Ladies and gentlemen.
You guys place bets on that?
It's a measuring contest right there, okay? You should, honestly, you should probably bet on it.
Yeah.
There's a decibel machine. I'm going with Machado, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some loud ovations for some players. So, I think Hudson Kim's going to get a crazy ovation.
Yep.
Obviously, Soto will, but, Cronenworth's going to get a great ovation, but I'm just saying, like, think about things like that.
Not even non-starters. They introduce the whole roster usually. Joe Musgrove. Get a massive
Joe
ovation.
Musgrove. Exactly. I don't know if he's going to run out there, jog out there. Take a fat scooter out there. I'm not sure what he's going to do. He's got some options, obviously. But, I mean, like, take a bet on that. But it's just so much optimism going into it, and it's just a fresh start. And it's weird being away from it, but at the same time, I got the movie package. I watch it on TV.
Well, we're really excited that you've hopped on board with us for another season on Wednesdays. We do really appreciate it. I know you've got a nice life going on, and the fact that you take some time out for us each week, I think the fans here in San Diego really do enjoy it and appreciate it, and we certainly do. So we will talk to you next Wednesday. We'll have a few games under our belts.
Bro.
You'll be where?
Look it up.
Where are you going to be next week?
Where are you going to be?
Mauritius.
What is it?
Yeah.
I think it's an island.
It sounds like a strip
Is
club.
it an island? It's an island. Yeah, it's an island.
Delicious Mauritius.
All right. And before you say it, we got your damn beer.
We got your beer.
Thank you. You know what I want? I want a custom refrigerator.
Now hold on. He's renegotiating.
Yeah, you're cutting out again.
We gotta go.
No, I'm not.
We gotta go. We'll talk to you next week, Adam. Take care, man. Good to talk to you. Good to see you, man.
No, I'm not.
See you, buddy. It's on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet Find New Roads. Those little fridges never work quite as well as you think they're going to work. They don't get things cold enough.
No, never.
They break down.
Yeah.
You don't want one of those mini fridges. You're fine. I'm sure you've got a really nice fridge in all your houses around the world.
I'm sure he's doing more than fine with his on his number of fridges and their quality. So Mauritius, I just looked it up. All right, spell Mauritius. There's no way you get it.
Mauritius.
Yeah, you got it.
Mauritius.
Look at you. Mauritius. Wow. It's an island nation in the Indian Ocean. Looks incredible. I've never even heard of it. Have you?
Yeah,
heard of it
I can spell it. I knew it was an island, so obviously I had heard of it. I think occasionally like surfers will travel for the big waves and make the trek to the Indian Ocean to places like Mauritius and the Seychelles. And
it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah. So he's going to be there. I think you can run across this island in like an afternoon. It's very, very small. But yeah, wonder how their Wi-Fi is for next Wednesday's hit. Great.
Well, we'll get a good backdrop at least.
Yeah,
hey, I mean, you know what? You stay at a 5-star hotel. It should have good Wi-Fi, even if you're in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Agreed.
Satellite Wi-Fi exists nowadays. Hey, if I can get Wi-Fi on an airplane crossing the country, you can get it in Mauritius. That was an interesting question, though. Who is going to get the biggest ovation? My guess is if Fernando Tatis Jr. was there, he would get the biggest ovation coming back. But I think it's going to be Manny Machado or Joe Musgrove.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to not get a big ovation?
Well,
honestly,
but everyone gets a big one. But there's certainly some are a little bit louder than others.
Manny. I think Manny gets the biggest side,
the new contract
staying here forever. Yeah.
In San Diego.
I mean, Juan, we all love Juan Soto, but as far as we know, Juan's only going to be here 2 more seasons. So you want a bigger ovation? Maybe you
want to welcome Xander Bogaerts enthusiastically.
Absolutely. You want to welcome
Make
Xander
him feel
Bogaerts.
comfortable and welcome in San Diego. So he'll get a giant ovation. Blake Snell starting the opening day pitcher will get a big ovation. But I think Manny is probably the right call.
Yeah, I think so too. Who will your biggest ovation be for?
Joe.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like coming off last year's playoff performance and everything he did, that to me, he's the guy. He's our San Diego now, our new Mr. San Diego. And Joe Musgrove is kind of the guy.
I'm reading some of the comments in the YouTube thread. Yeah, you nailed that spelling. Ben knows it because he's a news anchor. He's actually not. Roman.
I don't cover a lot. I don't cover a lot of sports in Mauritius.
Don't inflate the ego more than it needs to be.
The University of Mauritius has never made the NCAA tournament, so I have not had a chance to cover them a ton. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Joey Votto doesn't get to do opening day lineups.
That's a huge bummer, man. I just watched him play against the Padres and got a knock, had a double, I think, in his first AB about 10 days ago or so. Thought he was on track for opening day. What's up with Joey Votto? He made 14 in a row.
Yeah, he's going to start on the injured list. The Reds are going to start him there as he's going to rehab a little bit with AAA before he comes back up to the big leagues. He's got a torn biceps muscle that he's still coming off surgery from, is not quite 100%. He also had a rotator cuff surgery as well. So lots of recovery still going on, but I think they think he'll be back fairly soon.
Good. Love Joey Votto. Votto still bangs.
All right. We'll come back. We got 2 hours still to go, including a visit from Eric Greupner, the CEO of the Padres, going to join us, talk about the opening day festivities at Petco Park. We'll do that next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Everyone, super, super excited, kind of losing our minds a little bit, ready for Padres baseball to finally get going. Hopefully, we're not going to be delayed tomorrow. Looks like we may be, so everyone just stay calm. Ben, stay calm.
I'm very calm.
Calm down,
I'm
Ben.
okay.
Calm down,
I'm all
It's
right.
fine. It's going to be okay.
You're
Calm
raging.
down.
You're raging inside.
You know, I think if our next guest had the choice, maybe they could have moved opening day to yesterday. It was a gorgeous day.
Day before, too,
at
was
Petco
amazing.
Park. They did a tour yesterday to show off some of the new features for fans. And joining us right now on our premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is the CEO of the San Diego Padres, Eric Greupner, back with us here on Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Eric, happy new baseball season to you. Very excited to get another year started.
Yeah, thank you. Great to be with you guys. I love opening day eve. It's a great way to describe it.
Yep.
Really excited for tomorrow. And, we've got some weather in the forecast, but San Diegans, I think we're hardier people than we get credit for. We hung in there during that NLDS game. You might have remembered that when we beat that certain team up north.
Yep, vaguely.
And it started to rain.
Yep.
And I think the rain just emboldened our fans. And I think, if we get a little rain tomorrow, it's going to do the same thing.
What is the we were kind of wondering, obviously you can bring a rain jackets, but still no umbrella policy at Petco Park?
Correct.
Okay, so you can bring your rain jackets, your hoods, your whatever to try to stay dry. Do you have to make? Obviously, you can't control the weather, and umpires have.
But people are already tweeting at him to let us know what time the game will be delayed to.
But and umpires will have a lot of control of that once the game starts. But are there any contingencies? I know there's thunderstorms, possibly. You certainly don't want any lightning or anything. Anything else we need to know about that potentially tomorrow?
Yeah, here's what I would say. All gates are going to open early. They'll open at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We're still planning on a 1:10 first pitch, and we would encourage fans to arrive early. It's going to be absolutely sold out. We've got a few park passes left that we're still going to release this week for Gallagher Square, but we're essentially sold out of every last ticket at this point. So you want to get there early. Got a lot of areas in the ballpark where you can enjoy something to eat, something to drink, that are sheltered. So if there is a little bit of rain and you really don't like rain, we got a lot of options where you can stay dry. But you really want to be in your seats by 12:30 to really enjoy all the pageantry that comes with opening day. We introduce every player on the roster. There's giant American flag out in center field. It's just a really magical and special pregame ceremony. And just a great day at the ballpark. So get there early. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I haven't gotten the National Weather Service update yet today. I should have it, texted to me here shortly. But I think there's probably, from what I'm seeing right now, and I'm not a weatherman, but I think there's probably going to be a little bit of a greater impact today, the way this the storm front's laying out as opposed to tomorrow. So, the workouts for us and the Padres or the Rockies might be impacted today, but I think we're going to absolutely get the game in tomorrow. No guarantees it starts at 1:10, but I'm very confident we're going to get the game in tomorrow, and fans should arrive early and just enjoy Petco Park.
Well, you're not a weatherman, but you are handsome enough to be a weatherman if you decided that was the
There's
route.
a spot waiting for you at Channel 10 if you'd like.
If you decided this is what I want to do, Eric, that's just you slide right over. Now I'm buttering you up because I've got to ask you, probably the biggest thorn in everybody's side this offseason has been the reports about Bally's and where people can watch the game. Anybody with a product that wants eyes or ears on it, you want to make sure that those people can see it. And if it's not in person, where are people going to be able to watch the game tomorrow, Eric, if they can't make it down to the ballpark?
So we've been told and fully expect that we'll get paid today by Bally's with regard to their rights fee payment. I know it's been publicly reported that there was a bit of a delay in that payment being made. We've been, communicating with them as a partner on a regular basis, and I was assured that we will be receiving that payment and first thing this morning. So we have every reason to believe that our games will be broadcast as they have been through spring training on Bally Sports San Diego, and Bally Sports San Diego is as widely available as it's ever been, in our market. It's carried on AT&T Uverse. Cox, Charter Spectrum, DirecTV, and they've added Mediacom, which is a cable distributor I'm actually not that familiar with. I don't know if you guys are, but that's another option in market. And then last but not least, if fans really want a streaming option, they can go through DirecTV Stream, and that's a streaming option. And then if you're an authenticated subscriber, meaning you subscribe to one of those cable satellite services that I just listed, you can also stream the game through the Bally Sports streaming app. So yeah, that's where you can be able to watch our games this year. And that is the latest update I have.
Talking to Padres CEO Eric Greupner, led a tour yesterday of some of the changes at Petco Park, including new food items. Now, Eric, did you try everything on the menu that's new at Petco Park? I saw the elote, the street corn, the Mexican street corn. I saw some new sausages from our friends at Grand Hole Barbecue that are going to be available. There was an intriguing looking short rib bowl of some sorts. What can you tell us about the new food at Petco Park this year?
Yeah, so if I want to keep the plan B intact to be a weatherman, I can't taste all the food because I'll pack on the LB too fast. So I have tried little bits and pieces of everything, and I can assure you it is fantastic as always. So, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is every year we want to elevate the food beverage experience and the overall experience at Petco Park. We want fans to come back every opening day and feel like they're going to experience something new that they've never experienced before at the ballpark. And we want to do that in a way that's consistent and authentic with San Diego culturally and from a culinary perspective, what we have here in San Diego. So you mentioned the elote street corn, really excited about that. There's actually one of the elote dishes that's going to have on top of it a smoked carnitas stuffed jalapeno wrapped in bacon, with chicharron on top and a honey drizzle and tahini pop rocks. It is unbelievable. I can't even it is so good. Yeah. And then, you mentioned the kind of the Pacific Rim influence in the Kona Big Wave patio. We're going to debut a Hawaiian short rib bowl that is absolutely amazing as well. So those are just a couple of new items. I encourage fans to come out early, just walk around Petco Park, look at all the different food and beverage options that we have, and, just be a food tourist at Petco Park. It's a great way to enjoy a game. Pace of play this year, going to be quicker, which is great. It's a crisper version of baseball, but places a premium on arriving early, so you get an opportunity to really get your food experience in, because you're not going to want to leave your seat for very long during the game.
I know that not all of us get to live the way the other half lives, or the 1% lives, but I did see some of the new Blue Shield Home Plate Club upgrades yesterday. I think we can all dream of, maybe getting an opportunity to go behind the scenes a little bit.
You go to
down
Hawaii
into the club
every 6
yeah,
weeks.
I'm not
so.
saying you talk. I'm saying some of us.
He just got back from
don't.
Hawaii, again, Eric. So don't listen to him.
Hey, we can all dream on being a Home Plate Club member.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a soft opening last night, debuted the club for the first time for the members that have seats right behind home base. There's 226 seats in the Home Plate Club section, and then we've got some other premium seats down the line that can access the upper Home Plate Club as well. And this has been a project we've been working on for several years, and we completely transformed the experience. If you guys get an opportunity to come down there, let me know if you're at the workout day today, next time you're down. I'd be happy to take you through it and show it off. Some really cool touches that are especially meaningful for us that we integrated into the renovation of the club. One is we have this great picture. It was a picture that actually we didn't even know existed until we went deep into the archives. It's from 1946, and it's a picture of Johnny Ritchie with two of his teammates. The significance of it is Johnny Ritchie, San Diego native, went to San Diego High, San Diego State, played for the PL Padres before Major League Baseball had made its way to the West Coast. And he broke the color barrier on the West Coast in professional baseball a year after Jackie Robinson did it with the Brooklyn Dodgers. This year is the 75th anniversary of that. And if Johnny were still with us, this would be his 100th birthday this year. So we're actually going to be wearing PCL Padres uniforms for one of our home games to honor Johnny and his legacy this year, which is going to be really cool. So we have that. We have a number of bats, actual bats that different players have used over the years, going all the way back to Ted Williams, who played for the Padres, all the way up to our current roster of position players. So you can see the bats displayed down there. And there's a number of other really cool touches in there. So it was great to have our season ticket members in there last night, just see them really blown away by the transformation of the club. And that's what it takes to remain the number one ballpark in America. The rankings were just released.
Yeah, I saw that.
3 days ago by USA Today.
Yep.
And I'm proud to say that we were ranked number one again. But, it doesn't happen. It's not serendipity. It doesn't happen by chance. We work really hard. We're very intentional. And we, thankfully, with the support of ownership, put a tremendous amount of money into making Petco Park what it is.
Last thing for me, Eric, I know, you put the cap on the season tickets and a lot has been made about, how many sellouts there's going to be this year, but there are tickets available. I think sometimes fans think, oh, well, there's no chance to get any tickets. You guys do still have tickets available for people like are thinking of going. Like, what would you recommend here? What's still out there this season? Opportunities to go to Padres baseball if you're not a season ticket member.
Yeah, so there's plenty of opportunity. One of the reasons that we capped season tickets going into the season and started our wait list was to make sure there were tickets available. We understand not every Padres fan, for budgetary or other reasons, is going to be in a position to do a half season or full season plan, maybe not even, a 20-game plan, but they want to come to Padres games and they may only be able to come to a few games. So we've got plenty of single game tickets still available. I think the advice I would always give is buy early. The earlier you can buy, the better tickets are going to still be available for you, the better the pricing is going to be. And then, if you really want to get into season ticket membership, we have the wait list, and the wait list is a great opportunity to get your place in line so that when we do open up season tickets again, you'll get priority and you get discounts on single game purchases up to 10 games if you're on the wait list. You also get some of the other benefits that we provide to season ticket members as you're sort of a member in waiting. So I would say, buy early, plan ahead, and get on the wait list if you're interested in season ticket membership. And I mentioned the park passes earlier in Gallagher Square. That's a great and very affordable way to come to a Padres game and enjoy Petco Park, especially on a budget with a family. And as always, we maintain core concessions items that are value priced for families: hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts, soda water, to make sure that, a family can still come to Petco Park on a budget and enjoy Padres baseball.
Well, that is Padres CEO Eric Greupner, who joined us today. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your time. We will see you out at the yard. We're all going to be there tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to a great season. I know we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, grab me. We'll take a spin through the home plate club, and you can show Ben how the other half.
Yeah,
works.
I'll show him how the fancy. He's like the fanciest guy I know. He's also the thriftiest guy I know, so I don't know that he would actually lay out for those tickets, but I'm sure he'll be hitting you up for some at some point. Oh, he's back in.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's okay. We had a little phone call you had to grab, but we were just saying goodbye to our handsome weatherman wannabe CEO Eric Greupner.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. See you. Bye.
There's Eric Greupner, CEO of the Padres, and our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. It's going to be a show tomorrow. Absolutely. Don't worry about the rain. Get there early. Just to, wear something that's going to be okay, getting a little damp if it rains a little bit, and enjoy yourself on opening day. The festivities, the first pitch, Jake Peavy out there.
This has been the longest show of my life. I'm just ready to get there. This show today in particular is the longest show we've ever done.
By the way, speaking of the tickets, we have a pair of opening day tickets to give away right around 9:30 this morning. I know we've been giving away some this week. We do have another pair for tomorrow's opening day. We made, I think it was Chuck's day yesterday, to get those opening day tickets. If you weren't able to get some, you'll have an opportunity to win them. Stay tuned for Ben and Woods in our 9 o'clock hour for a chance to win a pair of opening day tickets still to come. So, I'm very excited as well, Woods.
As am I, Benjamin.
All right. Are we going to do our predictions? We still have our Tier 1 tour. Houston Astros are next up. Are we going to do some predictions and picks for the season in Major League Baseball as well?
It's very 1987 sports radio.
It is.
But I know that is your.
You like to get on. I like to get on record though at the start of the season.
That is your wheelhouse.
Wish I loved anything as much as Ben loves.
Takes and power rankings and predictions.
We'll
Whatever
come
you want
back.
to do, buddy.
Ben Woods,
It's your show,
check
man.
traffic and come back with more on 97.3 The Fan. I don't think I realized as we started doing these tier 1 tours of spring training camps, opponent by opponent, how late in the season it would be before the Padres ran into the defending World Series champion, Houston Astros. Welcome back, Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Our next team on the list is the Astros. And make no mistake, they are very much a candidate to win another World Series title this year. They've got a great team coming back, very few weaknesses in the Houston Astros. However, they did lose a couple of guys in the offseason that, they're going to have to figure out how to replace a couple of big names.
Yeah, they lost guys, but they added Jose Abreu, which was a guy that was rumored to be on A.J. Preller's big board of guys that he wanted to go after. They gave him that extra year that he wanted, 3 years, $58.5 million for one of the best pure hitters in baseball. Ben got some pop as well. They re-signed Michael Brantley. Yeah, you don't know what he's got left in the tank, but the projected lineup is still pretty dirty, guys. You got not Altuve anymore. He's going to be out for at least a month, right? Maybe more, 6 weeks, somewhere in that department. But Brantley DHing, Bregman at third.
I think they said May at the earliest.
Yordan Alvarez, superstar, Jose Abreu, Kyle Tucker, Jeremy Pena, who was the World Series MVP and Rookie of the Year, is in the 7 hole. Chas McCormick in center. And is Martin Maldonado? Yeah, he's back. They kept him. But then where they really make hay, Ben, is with their pitching.
Yeah, I mean, to lose Justin Verlander, but still be
still good,
really a top 5 pitching staff in baseball is very impressive. With Framber Valdez and Christian Javier kind of leading the way, 2 guys who could certainly be considered aces, and they're very high on Hunter Brown, who they're thinking could be a third ace in the mix coming up here pretty soon for the team as well. And they got depth in Urquidy, Lance McCullers Jr., guys who have been playoff tested, who have thrown huge innings, in their careers. This is a loaded starting rotation still for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they're back into their bullpen too. Rafael Montero and Ryan Presley. Ryan Presley is literally the most underrated, maybe baseball player. Just quietly goes out and dominates every single year. Doesn't get the big headlines of even a Josh Hader. Right? Like if you ask somebody in the street, Josh Hader? Yeah, I've heard that name before. You know who Ryan Presley is? Elvis's cousin. I have no idea. Like no one will know. But sneakily, maybe the best closer in the game, just quietly getting it done year after year. So they're going to be ridiculous. They're going to be ridiculous. The number I had them at, Fangraphs, I think, had them at, no, it was Zips. Bro, Zips has them at 90 wins. I'm like, 90? I think this team's gonna hit the over. 90. They may hit the over 100.
I mean, yes, their division should be
tougher.
Enhanced. The Mariners will be back and good again. The Rangers are improved with their offseason acquisitions. The Angels, still have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and they're going to be dangerous even if they're not truly a playoff contender. So you're in a tough division that could keep the win total from getting outrageous. But yeah, hard to see this team winning anywhere in the 80s, though. I don't see how you could go an under on a projection of 90 wins for the Astros.
Yeah, no question at all. I mean, if it's 90, if it's set at 90, I'm going to pound the over on that.
My guess is the Las Vegas line is higher than the Zip projection line.
I wonder how much this Vegas would factor in.
I'm sure they'd look at some of that because they know that some of the people who are gambling will look at that, and that will influence the lines. Yeah. But at the same time,
let me see.
You've got the big name teams coming off a World Series title. That's to me is one of my, if I have any concerns on the Astros, it's you play deep all the way into November.
Yep.
You win a World Series title. You got to get up for it 0-0 again the next year. That can be a bit of a grind for a team.
This site that I know is 95.5.
Yeah, that sounds a little more
better. A little
tougher of a number
to pick.
They could definitely go over that as well, though.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to be good, man. They are going to be good. Dusty Baker back at the helm. So, the hangover thing's real, I think. We've seen it before. So, hopefully it doesn't happen to us. We also played pretty deep into the season and, played in the NLCS and didn't go the way we wanted. But, man, you play a little bit longer. I got to think our guys are a little hungry right now at this point after getting so close to the brass ring last year. But that's what we're here to find out.
You know what? I'm going to scrap our picks for this season.
You are?
Well, I mean, I already told you.
It's the same.
It's for the National League. I already picked the 6 playoff teams.
Yeah.
You know, you want me to tell you I think the Padres are going to win the World Series? I do. Okay. I think the Padres are going to win the World Series. You know, why wouldn't you pick the Padres this year?
Yeah, what's the reason
they've been around for 55 years. They've never had a better chance than this year.
It's our time.
We're here in San Diego. We're on the flagship station. Do I know for a fact they're going to win? No, you know, things can happen. There are other good teams. But yeah, I'm definitely all in on the jump on the moving train, all aboard Padres baseball 2023. This is going to be our year. We'll see if it really plays out that way, but you're going to pick the Padres to win the World Series, right?
Yeah, correct.
Paulie, you're going to pick the Padres to win the World Series.
Yeah,
then
of course.
Yeah.
Then really, what's the point of going through an entire pick segment? I don't really care who you have winning the AL Central. I had a whole
and I don't know that anybody else does.
How maybe the Rangers would sneak in and get a wild card in the American League. You know,
they
Bruce
could.
Bochy at the helm, and you know his wisdom and playoff experience and the additions that they've made. That team could surprise some people and make a postseason run. Doesn't really matter. You know, the teams that are going to be there at the end are the teams that will be there. We know who they are. It'll be the Astros in the American League. If they don't make it, then maybe it'll be the Yankees or the Blue Jays, because baseball's funny in a short series. Yeah, they could win 4 out of 7 and make the World Series. We know who's going to be there at the end of the National League, and it'll come down to who's playing well in October and who gets a break or two and who's healthy.
Yep.
And how can I possibly predict what that's going to look like sitting here in March? Who's going to be healthy in October? I can't do that. So
I mean, you'd have to be a real dummy to go on a radio show and say that you're definitely going to win a World Series, right? Like, you'd have to be one of the biggest morons of all time to guarantee a World Series win. What kind of moron would do that?
So yeah, let's just scrap the pick segment and we'll just move on.
Thank you.
All right, so we got some Legion tickets to give away. You want to predict a Legion championship? This is their year. They're off to a really, really good start. If you haven't checked it out, rugby, or rubgy, as I like to call it, is actually a fun time. My son's gotten big time into rugby, and you can win some Legion tickets. We got a pair for the third caller right now at 833-288-0973. It's Sunday's game against Old Glory DC at Snapdragon Stadium. Tickets are on sale now at sdlegion.com, but call in and win your pair right now at 833-288-0973. Speaking of tickets, I know people are spending thousands of dollars on their Final Four tickets and trips and last-minute hotel rooms to get to Houston. I need to get an update. I don't even know what Paulie's status is on his weekend. I do know he's picking up some merch for the Final Four. I heard Chris Ellis say he doesn't want any Final Four merch, and I was surprised by that. He's waiting for the national championship merch. I want to talk about that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we'll talk a little Aztecs in the Final Four when we come back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. Oh, yeah, The Fan. And now let's get to our financial moment here on 97.3 The Fan.
This is Jason Brooks with the Opening Bell Report, sponsored by U.S. Bank. Tesla CEO Elon Musk and several artificial intelligence researchers signed an open letter calling for a 6-month pause on AI development in order to establish industry safety standards. Mortgage applications rose for the 4th straight week as interest rates dipped. Wall Street opened in positive territory, with federal regulators testifying about the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank for the 2nd straight day on Capitol Hill. That's today's Opening Bell Report, sponsored by U.S. Bank.
Quinn and Chris on The Fan.
You know, I think about the Final Four and the college basketball March Madness, and I think of teams like Virginia Commonwealth. I think of teams like Butler getting to the Final Four. And I think to myself, why can't it ever happen to us in San Diego? Why can't the magic ever land in San Diego? And guess what? It finally has. The Aztecs are actually going to the Final Four.
Listen to Quinn and Chris weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 The Fan.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. One widely overlooked new baseball rule change concerns replay challenges. Managers must immediately raise their hands to signal that they're thinking of challenging a play. Then they're going to have all of 10 seconds to decide whether to actually use their one challenge per game. This means the team's video guys can't look at 6 or 8 angles. Every second saved makes Rob Manfred really happy. Boomer Esiason.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Don't wait to secure your Padres tickets for the 2023 baseball season. Cheer on Padres All-Stars Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts, and Fernando Tatis Jr. at America's #1 ballpark. Be there for can't-miss matchups, incredible giveaways and promotions, and the Padres star-studded roster. Secure your seats at Padres.com/tickets.
Here's our house right here, baby. Let's go.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC. And they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based off incomplete or outdated information. So don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Fraser Farms Market, your natural grocer since 1971. A better way to shop for a better way to live. Now through April 3rd, organic jumbo mangoes, $1 each. All natural, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, $1.99 a pound. Jumbo pineapples, $2 each. Assorted mellow watermelon waters, $2.99 each. Huge savings all week long. Shop at our Oceanside, Vista, and La Mesa locations. Fraser Farms, a better way to shop for a better way to live.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Never lose touch with your favorite baseball team. The free Odyssey app will keep you connected to the Padres at all times, so you're always in the know. Download it today.
All right, so Paulie is going to get his merch for the Final Four today. You're seeing a lot more.
Where,
like a Final Four shirt.
Where did you get it? Oh, you ordered it.
I ordered it.
It's coming in today
to the Aztec store on campus. You're going?
Yeah. Well, got double charged.
Oops.
So I bought my shirt Sunday afternoon as soon as it was available from the SDSU store, not the NCAA. And I guess I somehow got double charged. So I got one shirt being shipped to my house today.
Okay.
And then I have another shirt that is ready for pickup at the student store on campus.
All right.
I go, great. So I need to go. I'll probably just go to campus on my way downtown today and walk all the way across campus, go to the student store.
Like you did when you ran for the Reindl report, which is where we got that intro.
I will not be parking down there.
What's up, guys?
I mean, when I tell you I made it at 11:59 and 30 seconds.
We don't play that audio enough, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's
Paulie
true.
running across here.
I'll try to find that here. But
we made it.
But yeah, no, I ordered the shirt. I'm super excited. It's like a black and red Jordan brand shirt. It says made for FOUR this.
Wait, made the number 4 or
no,
made
the
for?
word FOUR made for this with the bracket or something like that. It looks sick. So super excited for that. But yeah, got 2 of them now. So I gotta go return one.
All right, bring me one. Bring me one. I'll wear one. I'll buy it from you.
Cool.
There you go. Now you don't have
$45.
to return anything. But so Chris Ellis' take was he wants to wait because if they win the national championship, you don't want a bunch of just Final Four shirts. You want national championship San Diego State shirts.
I typically agree with that sentiment, except for the one tournament, the Final Four. It's the one sporting event where I feel like, and I've said this before this week, it's not the top of the mountain. Okay, let's be honest. It is the top of the mountain. You just haven't planted your flag yet, but you're at the top. This is
you're hanging around the top with 3 other teams at the same
You've got 5
time.
minutes to go till you summit this bad boy.
In
all right?
comparison, the Padres made the Final Four last
They
year.
did. They made the
But it's
Final
not
Four.
the same.
It's not the same. They did not make it to the top.
I got a I think my wife bought it. I think Hannah bought me a postseason sweatshirt. I was like, oh, cool. It's not that I want the World Series champs. I mean, you wear that stuff all the time. Get hats with big patches on the side that I don't even like, but I don't care. I'll wear it because it says World Series champs. Making the playoffs is awesome. You can't win the World Series without it, obviously. But in the Final Four is different. We were a Final Four team. That means something forever and ever and ever. Forever and ever and ever. Loyola, we're a Final Four team. We made the Final Four. Nobody expected them to. They made the Final Four. Didn't matter that they got beat. It did not matter. They're a Final Four team. That's important, and that's worthy of getting a T-shirt.
You're damn right. If they win it all, I'm buying a national champions T-shirt too. But that doesn't diminish.
It doesn't
the
diminish
Final
making
Four
the
shirt.
in my eyes, it just never has.
I grew up in Seattle as a Seahawks fan, and they won the NFC West a lot. I never bought an NFC West champions T-shirt, like the locker room style shirt,
Super Bowl's bigger.
until you see at least how this playoffs play out.
Yeah.
If they were to lose in their first game, and I still wanted a shirt to think about the season, then it's fine. But if they win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl, NFC champion shirt is better than an NFC West shirt.
Yep.
And if they win the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl shirt is much better than an NFC champions T-shirt.
That's exactly right.
But I do think the Final Four is different.
Let me ask the question. So we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. When we were going on the air, that first week, that was Loyola going to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And we learned Woods went to Loyola, Sister Jean. Everyone remembers that. You remember who won that Final Four?
I don't.
You remember Loyola was in it more than you actually remember.
Yeah, correct.
That Villanova won the championship.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ben. I had no idea who won that final.
Getting to the Final Four is
a
actually, I don't want to say it's bigger than winning a national title. If the Aztecs win the national
I remember
title,
VCU got to a Final
enormous.
Four. No idea who won that year.
Yeah, but you remember, and didn't Gonzaga, right?
Conversely, if Ben said, "You guys remember that Villanova game?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was the buzzer beater, right at the end. That was incredible." Don't remember those Final Four. It's weird how it's different.
VCU made the Final Four in 2011. Butler was there as well.
Yep.
They made it 2 straight and lost in the championship game to Duke in Connecticut. I mean, the Blue Bloods, but you remember the smaller teams that actually get there. I think more
Wichita
than you remember
State
the
going on a
championship. And by the way, I wanted to make this point, and I'm not trying to make you look silly. I just want you to guess. How many times do you think Gonzaga has been to the Final Four?
Once.
Twice is the answer.
Twice.
the team that, feels like the juggernaut of college basketball. And of course, the number of total titles, 0. They've built all of this. Yes, they consistently get to the Sweet 16. They've made a lot of runs in the tournament, but getting to the Final Four, the Aztecs are now halfway to Gonzaga.
I've seen that
getting
take.
to the Final Four.
Like, I've seen that take often, like around this time of year, but I saw it like as recently as within the last week, where Gonzaga is the most overrated team in college basketball. And I go, what are you talking about? They are one of the powerhouse. They go 30-3 every year.
Top 10 every year. They're right there. But
there's something to that.
It's that. I saw a Dodger fan tweet yesterday that the Padres were getting too much attention and that they're not worthy of that attention. And I didn't snipe at it or anything. I just thought to myself, man, you would know more than anyone. You should know more than anyone about hype and best team of all time and 111 wins and it's really hard to win a World Series. Our friends up the road are the greatest example in sports of that. The old Braves are the great example of that. The Buffalo Bills are a great example of that. It's really hard to win, to get the last out, to make the last point, for the clock to run out and you're on top. It's just really, really effing hard to do. And so I think there is a massive accomplishment. There was a massive accomplishment breaking down the wall from the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8. That's a massive accomplishment. Wouldn't buy a T-shirt for it. Final Four, though, you're damn right I would buy a T-shirt for a Final Four team. Remember what I bought? Do you guys remember what I bought when they made the Final Four? You guys remember?
Loyola? What did you get?
You guys don't remember?
I don't remember.
The scarf. Yes, scarf. Yeah. I'm wearing it around my house.
A burgundy and gold scarf. Yes.
Yeah, running around my house in the scarf. So yeah, it's a huge deal, and you should feel like it's a huge deal, Paulie. And you can get all the T-shirts that you want for a Final Four because I think it's absolutely worthy of it. Absolutely worthy.
Like had they lost on Sunday, I don't know that I would have gotten an Elite 8 shirt.
No question.
They have
I just
them.
said there's no way I would have bought it. Even though they broke down that wall and it's further than they've ever gone, it's not the same thing.
You go to Viejas Arena, you look up and you see the banners, the Mountain West titles, the tournament titles, and then you've got the 2 Sweet 16 banners that are really cool. An Elite 8 banner would have been, I guess, a fraction more cool. The Final Four banner is going to be, it's a statement.
It is.
When an opponent walks into your arena and they look up and see your Final Four banner, that's a statement right there in college basketball.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
Agreed. So I know that Ben scrapped you scrapped your predictions, right? But Alan tweeted in with a really good idea and says, can you guys do some Padre picks? If you're not going to do your prediction, make some predictions for the hometown squad, home runs, RBIs, MVP, breakout season.
That we can do.
I said, no problem.
All right, let's get to that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the premier auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
We're managing to get by with a pretty dry commute, guys, but rain is expected. So this afternoon's commute might be quite a bit different. Just brace yourself for that. They are still clearing this accident northbound 805 at Palm Avenue. Up ahead, they cleared that accident before Imperial. Now traveling on southbound 125 just past the King Freeway, an accident has been cleared into the center divide. Just watch out for a little residual slowing. Also collision westbound side of the 8 right before 2nd Street. Tow trucks on scene, not showing if any lanes are blocked. I'm Kelly Danik with Ben Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, home of the world-famous Bob-O-Pedic mattresses with all the comfort and quality of a national mattress brand. For half the price, no matter your budget, there's a Bob-O-Pedic Memory Foam Hybrid or Hybrid Plus mattress for you. Check them out at mybobs.com.
All right, so Padres predictions.
Let's do bombs.
Home runs.
Yep, stakes.
RBI.
Yep, MVP. And overachiever.
All right, I like those. No pitching stats. I guess the MVP.
Home runs, pitcher, RBI, MVP, and overachiever.
Bombs, stakes, MVP, overachiever.
Overachiever meaning
strikeout leader.
Somebody that plays above what you would say their average is.
Yeah, the guy who kind of
surprises
in a positive way.
Your breakout guy. We got.
To be fair, that could be one of the 4 super
Soto,
right.
Like,
whatever you have expectation wise for Soto, Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, like they go above and beyond that. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The home run leader for me, my prediction is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Wow.
He has to overcome 20 games missed, but what is he going to be? 4 or 5 behind when he starts that race. I feel like he's going to catch up fairly quickly. He'll have a good 3 or 4 days, And all of a sudden you'll say, oh, how did Fernando Tatis Jr. become the Padres home run leader all of a sudden? I think I saw enough in spring training to know that easy power that he has is still in there, and he's going to hit, even close to 40 bombs, even without only 135 or 140 games played this season.
Okay, Ben is taking Tatis for his bombs leader. I'm going to go with my guy Manny Machado. Is going to crack. He's going to hit 33 home runs. That's going to lead the team this year with Machado. Paulie, who do you got?
I was leaning Machado, but for the sake of this discussion, I will happily take Juan Soto.
Yeah, not a bad fallback.
I'll go
option.
38 home runs
38.
for Juan Soto.
Oh God, that'd make me happy. All right, I'm writing it down. You said what did you say? 40?
I'm going to go 39.
39. Okay, and I took 33 for Manuel, and Paulie took 38 for Juan Soto. All right, RBI. This will be interesting.
So it'll depend a lot on how
Who's
Bob
in where?
Melvin ends up constructing his lineup, but I feel like in the end it's going to be Manny Machado who's the RBI leader for the Padres.
And how many?
I'm going to say 114.
114. All right, I'm going to you go, Paulie.
I got to ride with Manny as well.
Okay.
I'll say 108.
108, and I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Juan Soto driving in.
I think I leaned away from him just because I feel like he's going to be batting second a lot, but that doesn't mean he's not going to drive in a ton of runs. Guys getting on at the bottom of the order.
Like Machado,
I'm going to go with
Tatis getting on in front of him.
119 stakes for that young man. MVP of the team.
I think Juan Soto is going to be my MVP of the team this year. I think he's going to bounce back from what was a down season for him and show us who the real Juan Soto is this year. And the real Juan Soto isn't just the MVP of a team, but he's kind of the MVP of an entire league.
I actually picked him on Fox 5 this morning to win the MVP this season, so I have to ride with number 22.
It's weird. I'll go with Manny then,
right.
but it's weird because I do think putting money on it, I would say Juan Soto has the highest chances of winning league MVP.
He does actually of the crew.
But Manny Machado could be the team MVP while Juan Soto is the league MVP at the same time. Does that make any sense?
I don't think the numbers are going to be so far off from each other. Like they're both going to put up huge years.
Yep.
And I think they'll be comparable statistic wise. Factor in the defense, the fact that he's the GD captain.
Yep.
I'm riding with Manny Machado.
All right. So 2 Sotos and a Manny. The overachiever on the team. I'll go first on this one. I think this young man is going to have a monster season. And his name's Jake Cronenworth. I think he's going to be. They talk about a rebound from last year. Soto will also have a massive rebound from last year. I think Croney.
So you already have high expectations for Juan Soto.
Yep. I think Cronenworth's going to have a monster season. I'm not just saying that to make sex with my wife later at the hotel.
Let's see. I think a lot of people will say
that is weird.
Trent Grisham after seeing some bombs this spring and knowing that he's got that potential in him. But I am going to say Ha-Sung Kim is my overachiever, and it's going to be hard. He had a really good season last year, but I think he's going to add a little more pop driving the ball. We may see Ha-Sung Kim who hits more in the high 200s, gets maybe to 15, 20 home runs and becomes more of an offensive force to go with what is already one of the best defensive players in all of baseball.
Paulie?
I don't think we said pitchers are not eligible for this. I'm going to go with Blake Snell.
Oh, my God. I love that pick.
Blake Snell. I think it feels like he is much more locked in, ready to go from the start of the season. We know what he is capable of doing when he is locked in. Dirtiest pitcher in baseball.
I saw, I think it was The Athletic did their kind of previews of the season, and they said, what's like one wild prediction for each team? And I believe it was Blake Snell, turns things around and gets off to a hot start and starts the All-Star game in Seattle, Washington. This summer for the National League.
I mean, what would I haven't looked at all the projections. What would you say the average estimate of how Blake Snell's season goes? Like maybe 13-8, somewhere
13-9,
somewhere like that, right?
Yeah.
But what if I told you he wins 20 games this year? Would that shock you at all?
No, God, he's got the stuff for
Right.
it.
I would be shocked
overachiever.
if he won 20 games. I would, just because we know Blake
It's the length.
tends to have those 5 or 6 inning starts, which leaves some wiggle room at the end for wins that were wins to not turn into wins.
I guess what I mean is that type of a season.
That type
right?
of season, yeah.
No,
I
maybe
line for 20.
17 wins with a freaking sub 3 ERA.
Let me throw in then one more category. Padres Cy Young. The best pitcher on the Padres this season, starter or reliever, you can pick as the guy who you think will basically be the MVP of the arms for the Padres this season.
There's going to be so many unsung heroes. So many. I mean, I think Nabil's going to be an unsung hero for the Padres this year. I do, especially early in the season. I think Seth Lugo is going to be a bit of an unsung hero. I really like what I've seen out of him.
Robert Suarez is going to have a ton of huge holds in the 8th inning
when he gets back. Yeah, I just hope he gets back super healthy.
Yeah.
Hader, I think, is going to be locked
Hader's
in.
gonna be
I'll go
based.
with man. I'm gonna lean on you, Darvish. I really am. I just trust him so much and believe and saw so much out of him last year. The absolute heart of a champion every time that guy took the ball.
He's missing one start in April.
It's the end of the world, everybody, because he's not quite built up for 7 innings yet.
I am going to say Joe Musgrove.
Yep.
And while, yes, he's going to miss a start, maybe a turn through the rotation, and you're not entirely sure how that toe injury is going to impact him, to see the kind of work that he continues to put in. A lot of guys coming off the season, the big contract, you don't have to push yourself as hard as Joe does, but the fact that he is continuing to build off of what he did last year, I feel like Joe Musgrove is just not, he doesn't give away starts. He goes out there. They're not all the best in the world, but he is always competing. Every single out is important to him. And that kind of mentality, I think, is going to carry him a long way this season. He's the guy who I think, if anyone's going to win 20 for the Padres, might be Joe Musgrove.
Wow, that's bold prediction, my friend. I like it, though. I like where your head's at. I don't want to mention Trent Grisham at all, but I do think Trent is going to have a bounce back year because he hit the bottom last year and came on late in spring training. He's a very, very pissed off guy, I think, at this point. Not in a bad way, just kind of like I got something to prove, and I love that. And in that lineup, probably in the 8 or 9 hole. Jeez, dude.
I mean, could have picked Matt Carpenter, could have picked Nelly Cruz, could have picked Austin Nola. Got a lot of candidates.
Look at Nelly Cruz.
Look at Nelly Cruz.
Got a lot of candidates. All right, we've got 1 hour to go. We're going to give away some Padres opening day tickets coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Stay tuned for that. The Rondo Report next on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
Oh, here's a band that was announced playing Petco Park as well. Did you see that news yesterday?
Another one.
The Pixies and Modest Mouse
They
will
are
be playing.
crushing it
I love
this
it,
year.
man. There's going to be so much good music right here in San Diego at Petco Park, out in Gallagher Square. Great place to see a concert. Great.
I was going to say, most of these announcements, if not all of them, are they the Gallagher Square concerts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pixies and Modest Mouse. I need to get the date on that. I probably should have had that handy.
I can pull it up.
Pixies, San Diego. Here we go. Just for everyone out there. So
September 16th.
September 16th. I will be in Chicago, unfortunately. So you guys, Ben, you'll need to go see the Pixies.
For you.
in
Yeah,
my
take notes.
in my stead.
Give you a full report on how they did.
I actually would like you to go. They'll blow your mind. Blow your mind. It's the worst interview I ever did in my life. Period. The end. The Pixies. I'll never forget it. I did get the.
This was at Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really hungover, and they're terrifying.
It sounds like a very friendly sounding name.
The Pixies.
The Pixies.
Look at us.
Aw,
So
look at
fun.
you guys.
Yeah,
We're just fun loving and
No, they're
gentle.
Their lead singer, Frank Black, aka Black Francis. Joey Santiago looks like a literal serial killer. Their bass player.
So Pixies is kind of ironic, slightly.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. They're the most terrifying band in the. I asked them like a terrible question at the beginning, and they looked at me like they wanted to kill me. And I just went, oh, this is not going on. I did get the sickest picture of all time. Me on the couch, and they all have their arms around me. So the picture looks like I knocked it out of the park. I didn't. And I walked out of there, and I wanted to crawl in a hole and die, and just die. I thought about it. I think about it still. This was years ago. But they're going to be playing. They put on such a good show. They're such a legendary, iconic band. Everyone should go see the Pixies.
You can listen to 97.3 The Fan on the Odyssey app for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Legoland. Every hour you listen now through April 16th equals 1 entry in the contest. Awesome awaits at Legoland California Resort. Check out their newest edition, Miniland San Diego, featuring a replica of Petco Park.
Yeah.
Tickets are on sale at Legoland.com/California. Well, a bass is a guitar.
It's true. Yeah.
It's just a style of guitar.
That's
You're
true.
okay. No one would have cared.
Did you know that?
He got me.
Bass is a
bass
style of
is
guitar.
a guitar.
Yeah.
A bass guitar.
Yes.
He frightened me. So I'm gonna show you a picture of him, and you tell me, Ben, if you went in to interview this guy, would he scare you the bejesus out of you? He actually looks fairly friendly in these, but I mean, that dude's staring.
Yeah, no, I see what you.
Staring a
Yeah,
hole through
see what you mean.
after you ask a bad question. So, Pixie, September 16th, Gallagher Square. You guys will love it if you've never seen it.
Why don't we get to some headlines and today's Rhino Report?
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rhino Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. It's the Rhino Report, brought to you by the San Diego Sockers. The Lords of Indoor are on the march to the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Just a couple of home matches remaining before those playoffs begin. Get your tickets at sdsockers.com. We will start off in the NFL. We have an official bid for the Washington Commanders that is in. We've been talking about this for a little while now. What the reports were, who is in that group that wants to purchase the Commanders from Dan Snyder. And I don't know if it's just a sign of where the NFL is as a league, and every team is just going to keep setting the record when they're sold. But I wouldn't think the Washington Commanders would get what they're possibly going to get here. So it's the Josh Harris, Mitchell Rails group, and that includes Magic Johnson. They officially submitted the bid, and it meets Dan Snyder's asking price of $6 billion.
You know, that's irritating to me.
I know.
I
The
don't
golden parachute for that.
I
guy
don't mind.
sucks,
I would like to see the Padres jump in giant franchise
When
value.
Donald Sterling was forced to sell the team, and you're like, cool, like
But,
this guy.
Yeah, when you own a team and you mismanage it basically the entire
So
time you
poorly.
own it, if you're a business person, shouldn't you lose money on that investment?
Yes.
If you're a bad owner of something in most businesses, you drive the value of your business down. Somehow, professional sports, though, you can be a terrible, terrible owner and still make a huge amount of money on the sale at the end.
Yep.
It just doesn't seem fair.
No, life is not fair, though. It's one of the first lessons you learn.
Yeah.
How many people do you like? Dan Snyder, not a good guy, like not a good human being.
Doesn't seem like it, that's for
at
sure.
all. Right? I don't know him personally, but the stories that have come out, the many hundreds of people that have worked for him said he's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible place to work. Bad people falling up is the worst thing about life. It's the hardest thing to stomach. This business, oh my,
happens all the time.
oh my God. Oh my God. Like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe in this business.
What do you think we could get if we sold the Ben and Woods show right now?
$1,000.
It's like $50.
$50. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're better off selling merch.
I was gonna say a gift certificate to our own merch store.
Yeah. 15% off.
There's another billionaire in Canada that has also submitted a bid for the $6 billion for the Commanders. So we're going to weigh all those. If either one is accepted, it'll shatter the record for a previous sale of a franchise. That record was set last August when Rob Walton, he's the Walmart heir, he bought the Broncos for like $4.6 billion, and the Commanders are about to be sold for $6 billion. Crazy. Next up in the NBA, it was announced the newest class for the NBA Hall of Fame, the 2023 class. It's a pretty good one. We're at that point where the draft, it's the 2003 draft. That was one of, if not the greatest NBA draft class in history. And those guys are now eligible. A lot of them are. LeBron's still playing, but Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, and Greg Popovich are among finalists going into Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
Not that hard.
It's pretty easy. I just did it for you.
A couple more. Pau Gasol and Tony Parker, international superstars.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Right? No arguments there.
Done.
And then WNBA legend Becky Hammon is also going
guaranteed.
in.
Sure.
They're going to officially...
They're all in. So they're not just finalists. They're actually...
They are in. There's going to be a formal announcement. I think it's on Saturday night at the Final Four in Houston. And so... those guys will be going in. I think they do that in June or July is usually the induction, but
where's
August 12th, Paulie.
Ben, where's the
Springfield, Massachusetts.
I've been there. Actually.
Have you?
I've been to the MLB. I've been to the college. That was in Hotlanta when I went to the Super Bowl. And I went to the basketball one. I was underwhelmed.
You were underwhelmed.
I loved basketball at the time, too, but I was underwhelmed by the actual Hall of Fame. Probably because the Baseball Hall of Fame was so badass. So badass.
No, you have not been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame
Akron.
in Canton.
Oh,
Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio.
I've not. I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Phenomenal day. Phenomenal. Yeah, what about you? You been to any of those?
I have been to no Hall of Fames.
Who's the sports guy on this show?
So
I've been to none of those cities ever.
So sports.
You have to go to one of those cities before you can go to one of those Hall of Fames.
That's right.
Would you? So I guess the baseball one would be the only one where I'd actually take a trip
to it. Yeah.
To the city for the Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't want to just go to Canton, Ohio. Now, if I was in Canton, Ohio, I'd want to see the Football Hall of Fame.
100%.
But I'm not taking a trip to Canton just to go to the Football Hall of Fame. I'm not taking a trip to Springfield, Massachusetts just to go to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I mean, we're going to have the three of us. If we're still a show, we're going to have so many Odyssey is going to be sending us to Cooperstown every other year, every year for a while.
Not for another 15 or 20 years.
The next one, though, it's going to be...
Adam's still here, still going over my expense report. I'm 60 years old, and Adam's like, hey, do you really need
We're going to have to request our
sandwiches?
regular room at the Otesaga Hotel. Yeah, can you just put us in our regular room that we have for all of the Padres Hall of Fame inductions that we go to?
I look forward to it.
Maybe our beloved Adam Jones will invite us out if he's inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man, he's like...
It's Fringe, right?
Fringe. He'll be on the ballot. Yeah.
I mean,
in like 4 years. Yeah.
I think you make the case for him.
Okay.
Let's see. They have that that whole score where they put together the numbers of whether a guy has basically done enough to get to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to see if I can find
5-time All-Star. Didn't he
Adam
play more
Jones.
games than any other player in the 2010s?
He did actually.
That catch alone in the World Baseball Classic.
You can put him in for one catch.
No, but it's iconic.
I'm not arguing that it's like not iconic.
I wonder. While Ben looks that up, we'll get to our third story. It's a little not as goofy as it tends to be, but a little sports media drama. This happened a few days ago. Woodsy actually brought it to my attention. I went and dove into it. Dan Le Batard versus Stephen A. Smith. This was making some headlines over the last few days. Stephen A. was joined, or I should say Le Batard was joined by Stephen A. on Le Batard's podcast, the South Beach Sessions, one of their podcasts that he has on his own network. And this is an hour-long podcast. I listened to about 20 minutes. I need to finish it off. But the topic of First Take came on, and Stephen A. still on there. There's been a lot of drama around that show over the years. I think it was like last year. Skip Bayless did his own podcast, calling out Stephen A. Smith, and it was just a lot of drama. So Skip Bayless's name came up in the conversation between Le Batard and Stephen A.
Okay, so they're talking. Bayless's name comes up.
Stephen A. talks about Skip Bayless, says that is still a brother of mine. Like when he called me out on that podcast last year, I flew out to LA to sit down and chat with him because I cared that much about what he thought. And then Le Batard said this.
I hate what you two have done to sports television.
You can say that all you want to. I would say, who the hell are you to sit up there and say me and him? What about you? What the hell were you living under a rock, teaching at Miami U? You were a part of it too.
I'm talking.
You ain't innocent.
I'm talking about all the imitators that you have birthed. All of the imitators that are all over the place, thinking without the journalism credentials that the point of all this is to turn it into an argument on television.
Well, I would take umbrage at what you're saying in this regard, Dan. Those people who don't have a journalism background, who don't exercise journalistic ethics and beyond, how are we responsible for that when I'm based on that? Skip Bayless was a journalist for decades.
Good point.
I was a journalist for decades. We come on television and those ethics are applicable. The fact of the matter is that when I take a position, it's the same kind of position I would take writing a column. The difference is, instead of writing 800 words and being limited to that space, I get to talk for a few minutes on each subject. When did it happen that I ignored the fact that I was a journalist for the Winston-Salem Journal, the Greensboro News and Record, the New York Daily News, and then the Philadelphia Inquirer? Before I went to CNN-SI and then Fox Sports and then ESPN. When did it occur in my career that I ignored the journalistic tenets that came with the job?
Oh, it's not ignoring them. It's that they shrink in the face of the need for the argument as entertainment. It's that Kellerman offers too much nuance, so we have to make it in the form of entertainment. We have to. It's not that it's ignored. It's that the journalism becomes less important. It's the argument. It's the sparks. It's the debate that needs to be carried.
So I think
brilliant combo, by the way, with both. I could have listened to that all day.
Send you the link. It's a really good podcast. I think. At first, when you hear Le Batard say, I think you guys have ruined, television, whatever, sports television, you'd be like, yeah, because I hate the talking head shows.
Right.
But Stephen A. Smith defends himself, I think, pretty well.
Admirably, yes, very admirably.
Look, Skip Bayless, for all the crap he gets, he was a journalist. Yep. He that's where he started. Yep. Stephen A., that's where he started. And I think what I took from that was Stephen A. saying, I'm just taking everything I still practiced in journalism my entire life.
Put it on TV.
And put it on TV. Yep. And of course, you have to play up the theatrics a little bit.
I think there's a big difference between Skip and Stephen A. Smith.
I do too.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith passionately argues what he believes in. And sometimes it's a hot take, but I feel like he backs it up and he's loud about it. And it can sometimes go a little off the rails, but I think he says what he believes in. Skip, I can never get past the sense that he is taking
Trolling.
positions.
He's doing it for
Trolling.
television.
Yes, he's trolling.
To provoke a reaction from an audience.
He is paid very handsomely to be hated by everybody.
Yeah, man.
And he's been very successful at it, but I don't get that same genuine passion that I get from Stephen A. Smith.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith tomorrow, if that ended, he could go back and be a
Now-
columnist, and I'd read the hell out
Now,
of it.
Levitar's,
I think
right.
he's really
Levitar's
good.
right. He is. Stephen A. Smith has spawned imitators.
That's not his fault, though.
But it isn't his fault. What we really need is like a sports take license. Like you need at least some credibility. Like, okay, here's
What
my
if I
license.
pass the test?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll have you study up, and we'll I think you'd pass.
Been to the NBA Hall
I
of
think
Fame.
you'd pass. Yes, you have.
Hall of Fames. I've got 3. What do you guys have? 0. Check.
Speaking of Hall of Fames, it's not looking
Please
great
put
for
together
Adam
a test
Jones.
for a license. I'm begging you.
So, according to
Please.
the Baseball Reference Hall of Fame monitor statistics, an average Hall of Famer is at 100. Adam Jones is only at 36 on their Hall of Fame monitor
it's recency
stats.
bias. He's our boy.
You
wanna
know, and
vote
those
for your
are
boy. That's
they're
how it goes.
offensively skewed, and I don't think it necessarily
I
takes
guess
into
I thought he'll
consideration.
for sure be on the ballot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He'll be on the
Yeah,
ballot.
He'll
Well,
absolutely be on the ballot.
Okay, so the player though that he's most similar by in age is Andre Dawson.
Wow.
So and he is a Hall of Famer. So
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
take that for what it's worth.
Not a bad
All
comp.
right, we got
there.
Padres tickets to give away. We're going to do that coming up.
Got any more
after
trivia?
Not
a
right
check
now.
of traffic
Not right now.
on
Don't call now.
97.3 The Fan.
Don't call
Next
now.
segment on 97.3 The Fan. All guests on Meadow Woods appear on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. We kind of did our projected lineups a little bit yesterday. Obviously, German Marquez, the right-hander. So you expect Matt Carpenter to be in there as the left-handed DH option for the Padres tomorrow. I think Austin Nola's proven that he's okay and healthy, so he'll be behind the plate for the Padres. Trent Grisham out in center field. You just kind of not sure exactly where everyone's going to be in that lineup.
Yeah, like how Bob's gonna slot them all together.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I love lineup. The gentle reminder, beginning of the season, gentle reminder to many listeners out there. They don't do the same lineup every day anymore. They don't. It's not something that is common.
No, it could be
baseball.
159 different lineups in 162 days.
It's not like it was. They're going to mix it up. They're going to do matchups. They've got more data involved. There is a lot of gut feeling as well. There's a lot of your manager knows the players and how they're feeling and where their head's at better than we do. So the one complaint I'd love to see go away from baseball and social media baseball altogether, there's many. The number one with, I don't know how we're ever going to get on track if we can't put a consistent lineup out there every day. No one puts out the same lineup every day.
Great point.
Nobody. It just doesn't happen. It's not how baseball is made and done anymore. So if we could.
Now, that being said, it wouldn't shock me if Juan Soto's in the 2-hole 95% of the time this year.
But I'm talking you keep moving Crone up and down, and that's really going to mess with him. And, Kim sits against this guy. And listen, Bob, the manager, the training staff, they know the right guys to put in and where. It's up to the guys to execute. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Guys do their jobs. This team's going to win a lot of ball games, Ben, because they have superior talent.
I know that when I have talked to ball players, almost always they say it doesn't really matter where they hit.
Xander, and he goes anywhere but the 2-hole.
Yeah, I mean, some guys have a bit of a preference, but the only one that I think is actually makes a difference is the leadoff guy to lead off the game.
100%.
It's the only time I think,
vibe.
And then it's just the first time because the rest of the game you may be hitting fifth in an inning, you may be hitting second in an inning. It's going to come up where it comes up. It's just that first bat. When you come up there, top of the first, especially when you're the road team, that might be the only one where it might make a mental difference to a player. After that, honestly, I really don't think it matters much. Yeah, prestige, you like to be higher in the lineup. You're a better player. You want to get up more. You want to be, batting second, third, or fourth if you're a good player. But does it make a difference to a guy if he's batting eighth or sixth or ninth or fifth? I don't really think at all.
Where did you guys like to hit? When you last played, Little League, 12, 13 years old, where did you like to hit?
Third.
You like to hit third. Were you a third place hitter?
Yeah, I mean,
up through
third, 4, 5, somewhere in
3,
there.
4, 5?
Yeah.
Through what age?
Through high school.
Through high school, okay.
I was mostly
I didn't like
guy.
fourth. I didn't like cleanup because
you were a cleanup guy too? Oh my God.
More than anything, I hated starting innings. Leading off.
Well, I had zero speed whatsoever. So we definitely didn't want me clogging up the base paths early in the order. So I was but I was one of the better hitters. So I usually hit fourth.
You like to hit fourth?
Yeah.
You felt a little.
Well, yeah, especially back then. Fourth was a big deal.
Huge.
Cleanup was a big deal back
when you're a
then.
little kid, you're like,
now it's like, well, that means you're probably the fourth best hitter in the lineup. If you hit
true.
fourth.
It's very strange how it works now.
It's changed quite a bit.
I like the 7, man.
It's funny that
I love 7-hole.
It is funny that 7-hole.
Yeah, no pressure.
It's really
a lot of fastballs.
An afterthought right there.
Yeah, just
it is funny that it took baseball so long.
It really did. I mean,
figure out what should be so obvious is that you want your best hitters up as early in the lineup as possible,
more
so they can get up more
times as you can. It's baffling.
It feels like it should have taken about 2 weeks back in 1904 when you had your best hitter hitting cleanup, and then the game ended, and he was in the on deck circle, and the manager goes, if I had just batted him second or third, he would have been up again.
With runners on.
We would have had a chance to win this game. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. Why did it take so long to get the best hitter out of the cleanup spot and higher up in the order?
Buddy, it's so funny to think about. You're right. And hey, man, this just started a couple of years ago where somebody's like, what are we doing here? I got Billy Hamilton at the top. Why? Because he's fast. And if he gets on, he could steal a base. If he steals a base, he could score an early run. There's a little bit of logic to that. Billy Hamilton was, batted $120.
Similarly, defensively, the shift. You didn't see the shift in any way, shape, or form until recent years the way we saw it. Now it's, of course, been banned, but wasn't it obvious? A left-handed hitter. Boy, that guy hits a lot of ground balls to the right side.
Let's move over.
What would happen if we moved the guy over here and just had another extra defender? Don't you think that would make it a lot harder for this guy to get on base and get a hit? Yet it took a century or more of baseball just to figure out and try that. Now, yeah, it helped when you actually had the data to convince a manager in front of him. Okay, look, I have printed out every single at-bat that this guy hit. You see all these ones that are going into right field, all these ground ball singles? If we just move this guy over here, guess what? Yeah, he'll get 4 more singles to the left, but we'll take away 15 singles to the right.
Honestly, and back to the lineup, it's like you look at Fernando Tatis Jr. and Bob Melvin came out yesterday and said, hey, like I think Bob said when he comes back, there's no limitations on him. So he can hit leadoff for us. And honestly, like I feel he's a guy that can hit anywhere, obviously, and a lot of guys in our lineup are. Him in the leadoff spot is it's like one of the most deadly things you could ever imagine because he can go big fly on you. He can go big fly on you later. He can steal bags. He can hit a double into a triple, a single into a double. It makes perfect sense. Oh, and he's going to get the more ABs per game.
Hit a double and then advance to third on a shallow fly ball to right.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. It doesn't matter. We've seen the weirdest stuff from that cat. So him in the leadoff spot just makes my heart smile.
All right,
he's such a gamer too.
That leads us to the perfect trivia question for our Padres tickets. Here it is, your chance to call in at 833-288-0973.
Everyone, don't call now.
Opening day tickets.
You
need another question. Who batted leadoff for the Padres in their first game last year against the Arizona Diamondbacks?
I remember this one.
Who batted leadoff for the Padres last year against the Arizona Diamondbacks on April 7th when they got the season started?
Turn the mics off real quick. Yeah,
you got it. You got it. Okay. All right, so call now, 833-288-0973 if you win.
These are for what?
Opening day tickets for you tomorrow. We got a pair of tickets. Tickets are on sale now at Padres.com/tickets. We had Eric Greupner said they are going to be releasing some more passes to the park. So keep an eye out for that. Go to Padres.com/tickets. Opening weekend, opening day. You still have a chance to get in or win them right now. 833-288-0973. And then we'll open the phone lines after we clear the contest and take some of your calls on the Padres and the Aztecs in our final segment. Coming up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's Hour 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, home of the world-famous Bob-O-Pedic mattresses with all the comfort and quality of a national mattress brand for half the price. No matter your budget, there's a Bob-O-Pedic memory foam, hybrid, or hybrid plus mattress for you. Check them out at mybobs.com.
Congratulations to
Mario.
Got our trivia question correct. The opening day leadoff hitter for the San Diego Padres. And if you didn't remember it, it was going to be hard to guess this one. Last year was Austin Nola actually batted first against the Arizona Diamondbacks that first game of the year.
I remember being upset and mad when the lineup came out.
Well, you were kind of right. It didn't end up working out that well. He didn't bat there a lot that last season.
Nope, he didn't. We lost that game. Robert Torres came in with the lead, blew it. That was a tough opening game. It was against the Arizona Diamondbacks, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Mad Bum on the hill? Yeah. Yep. And I expected the boys to come out really, really red hot against Mad Bum, but he actually looked pretty good from what I remember. But I do remember when the lineup came out being like, what are we doing? What? Why? Bob better not pull any of that mess with what he's got on this roster right now.
Last year's opening day lineup: Nola, Machado, Cronenworth, Voit, Myers, Hosmer, Profar, Kim, Grisham.
Okay.
Not quite as star-studded as this year's lineup is going to be, and that's still even without Fernando Tatis Jr. for a second straight year on opening day.
Very few lineups are going to look like what we're going to be rolling out there tomorrow. I mean, it's going to really hit home when the lineup comes out tomorrow. I mean, it's like cause for celebration. If Nola's leading off again, I'm walking off the air. So,
He had a good spring.
He did.
He gets on
him.
base.
It's not against him.
But there's no chance that Austin Nola will be the leadoff hitter tomorrow.
Say that.
I really feel like there's no chance.
Congratulations again to Mario, because I know he's a tier 1, because he said, was it Austin Nolan?
Austin Nolan. Who is Austin Nolan? He is a tier 1 then.
Are you sensing? So if you'd like to join us, our phone lines now are cleared. The contest. You can call in 833-288-0973. Have you sensed a little disappointment? We had Eric Greupner on earlier, and he said that he believes that Bally Sports, Diamond Sports, is going to make their rights fee payment for the year today. The deadline is later today.
Do they pay for the year, or
apparently
do they pay monthly?
Apparently, it's for the year.
It's a la carte. It's game by game.
It's an annual payment.
And Diamondbacks, we don't want that one.
If they make that payment today, the games will remain unchanged on Bally Sports throughout the season.
Glad I didn't cancel my Cox then. For
many people, this is great news.
For many people, it's not.
Hey, you'll have your Padres just where you expect them, where they have always been. You don't have to learn any new streaming methods. You don't have to change anything. You're not scrambling at the last minute tomorrow to figure out where the game is. I think for other people, though, we're almost looking at this as an opportunity to change the dynamic, change the model a little bit, and get away from the traditional cable outlets to watch their baseball.
And can I say that I'm assuming that that's why I saw a bunch of people yesterday, a bunch of my Twitter follows that I follow, went and switched their service to T-Mobile to get free MLB TV so that they could stream Padre games, because that's kind of what we were told in the offseason is all the stories. We talked to the guy from the New York Times or whatever that wrote that article, and everyone said MLB TV is going to boot their, that firewall that won't let you watch the games, the blackout restrictions.
But if they're still on Bally and Bally has paid their money,
then
they'll want to keep that firewall up where, home games are not, home market games are not available on the stream, that you'll have to still find them through your cable or satellite outlet. And Eric Greupner gave us a couple of other new satellite type and cable options that you can look into. I'm not sure, what the costs are on those, but
it's funny though. I mean, we've been doing this together 5 years, and this is the same conversation we've had almost around this date for the last 5 years in a row. Nothing's really changed other than, because at one time, if you had YouTube TV, oh, cool, I can watch the Padres. I'm on YouTube TV. That deal went away. Oh, well, it's fine. I've got
every year it's been something new.
Every year it's been something new. I got Roku and I watch it on Roku.
Hulu
Live TV. Now, I'm boomers unite. Boomer, I'm keep paying that $285 a month or whatever. That just guts my soul every time it comes out of my account. But at least I can watch the Padres now.
Now, the other option, and I know it's a pain in the butt, but a lot of people will do the old switch to a different provider and take advantage of the introductory offer. Like you go from cable to DirecTV or vice versa.
Yeah.
And usually you can get that. Yeah, it's for 12 months. It's only $65 a month.
Right.
And then, it jacks up triple the price after that. But if you continually switch every 12 months, yeah, real pain, but you can take advantage of those introductory prices. You just call up your cable company and sometimes you say, hey, I need to cancel my service. It's not, it's just too expensive. They'll find magically a way to charge you less.
It's an old wives' tale.
It's happened.
It is. No, it's an old wives' tale. I've tried it 3 times in the last
They haven't
9 months. My bill went up.
Maybe
My
you
bill
just
went
have a
up.
poor poker face.
Bro,
You're not leaving.
I told you my saga. I took channels off to save a little bit of money. I was going to save like $9. My bill went up. They're like, you made changes. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't have HBO anymore. I don't have Showtime. I don't have Stars. They're like, yeah, because you made that change, it wipes out that deal.
Your promotional deal.
So now it's more. They got me in a blender. They've had me in a blender. They're going to continue to have me in a blender. I told you I'm a sucker. The guy called on Twitter, called me a pigeon. Yeah, you got me. You got me every time. I pay $300 for oil changes, pay $300 for cable. Anybody want any money? I got you. I got you covered. Idiot. But like the thought of calling, canceling, taking the boxes to drop them off somewhere, waiting for the direct
UPS
TV
store,
guy,
and then
waiting for the direct TV guy to show up.
3 weeks from tomorrow.
He's late. Just like forget it, dude. I'm just like, take my money. Just keep it easy. Like, baby, you better sell some more houses, man, because cable's getting really expensive. We got to watch our Padres every night. So I'm sorry to those out there. I mean, I'm not making light of it. I'm not. It sucks. This is a problem. It's not just the San Diego Padres. It's an overarching problem with the game of baseball. I just saw that the Apple TV games are not free anymore on Friday nights. So now if you want to watch the Friday night game.
But you have Apple TV.
I do have Apple TV because I pay for everything, Ben. $70,000 a month in entertainment, just in case something I like is somewhere. I called a buddy the other day back in Dallas. And I was recommending that show I always talk about, Mr. In Between. It's top 3 show of all time. Australian drama, comedy. It's brilliant show. I call him. I go, you got to watch this show. Well, what's it on? I go, it's on Hulu. And he goes, I don't have Hulu anymore. I go, get it. It's like $11. Just get it and watch it and then cancel. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. They just canceled a bunch of stuff. I'm like, there's more options than we've ever had, but it's so expensive to get everything you want. It's so I watched Ted Lasso last night on Apple TV, and yeah, I'll have it now for baseball. You're going to get me with Amazon Prime for football. There's just so much, and I get it.
What would you pay if they just said, you are now subscribed to everything?
I've said this,
one fee.
I've long said,
but you get everything.
I've long said, I feel like LeBron James. I feel like there's a secret DMV for him, and I feel like there's a secret plan for entertainment for big celebrities. Not that I am one. I'm just saying for big, like Madonna. Madonna doesn't have to go in and redo her Hulu.
It's a good point. I mean, they want the celebs to be watching these things. They can't say, oh, LeBron wanted to watch our show, but he couldn't figure out how to sign up for Paramount Plus. So
does LeBron get an email that says, just so you know, your Netflix is going up to $14.99? And he's like, damn it, I can't keep paying for all these apps.
Or do they just hire a person who handles it all for them and they don't have to worry about it?
I wonder. All right, so the fee question is a good question. I did the one time I did it, HBO Max, I watch a lot of. There's a lot of good stuff on there. I did the pay $149 for the year and saved some money. If you have the means to do that, that's probably the best.
My son just texted me. He said, you just invented cable. No. I want cable. I want every channel. I want every premium channel. Yes. And I want every streamer. I want my Netflix. I want Hulu. I want Amazon Prime. I want Apple TV.
Paramount Plus.
I want anything that streams
Sports, entertainment
for one price, one
$50,000
obviously
a month.
gigantic price. But I feel like that they could come up with something that we're already paying that much anyway once you add them all together.
They call it the Big D package. You want the Big D? Are you gonna? I'm signing up for Big D this year. I'm doing it. It's gonna be. Well, what do they go charge you? It'd be $500. It'd be $500 a month.
I mean, if I want my Netflix in Portuguese, you've got every
Everything.
option, every streamer, everywhere.
All those nudie flicks on your cable that you have to. All of it. Give me the whole shebang. What's it gonna cost me? All of it. Netflix, Paramount, Peacock, name
Sunday
it.
tickets,
Name it.
Red Zone channel.
It's $50,000 a month.
Every single thing that you could possibly watch is available on your home devices.
A year is what it would cost you. $600,000 a year. I would pay for the Big D package. I would, but
there's a way to do it. But
not on the. You can't do it on these airwaves.
Paulie's talking about things that are quasi.
It's actually not illegal.
Do
It's
it
not
on
even
a
illegal.
do it on a podcast. Brandon says, I would love to wash the Stephen Woods car so that I could go to opening day tomorrow. $150. I promise you, it's a steal. Brandon, it sounds great. DM me your info. And yeah.
The problem is he doesn't make that much money, so it's it's not like you have just unlimited buckets of money to spend. You just have no idea how to lower the cost of things.
I don't, man. And it's funny. I've told this story before. You mentioned, if you want to maybe save a little money, you can go to switch providers or whatever. I tell you about my buddy Steve, that on June 1st goes down to Home Depot, buys an air conditioning unit, uses it for 90 days, and returns it. And on the 89th day, and he does it every single year. 90-day return policy. Cool. 89th day. Here you go. And I'm like, bro, you make good money. You have money. He's like, it's the principal. I'm like, what do you mean the principal? Don't you want to be cool?
I mean, I totally understand you have to pay for things that you really want. Now, I hate thinking that I've paid more than someone else for the same thing. I want to have the
best deal.
I want to have at least the best deal possible. I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
but I want to have the best deal possible. It doesn't bother you. Like if you thought someone else got something for $30 that you paid $50 for the exact same thing, that wouldn't bother you.
What are we talking?
I mean, anything like a cable deal.
I would get annoyed. Sometimes when you see like with cell phone providers, like, hey, if you join T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever, like you're gonna get all of this stuff, this an iPad,
But
and
I've
all
been
this
a
cool
member
stuff for
a decade,
super cheap, and then you're like, well, what the hell? I've been paying you guys however much a month
that's
for
a good point.
years.
When I see the deals trying to get the new people, I'm like, you should also take care of your
Yeah,
old people.
I get that.
I get
100%.
that. That stuff bothers me. Yeah, I'm with you on that deal. But what are you going to do? It's such a beating to do anything, to switch things. Bank of America sucks. I've been with them for 25 years. I'm never leaving. You know why? Because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the hassle. You should do a credit union. Do it for me and I'll do it. Sign me up, take my money, get me set up. Everything is such a nightmare to actually move one piece to the next. I just don't want to do it.
They count on our
ease of use, man.
Yeah,
It's
they
huge
count
for me.
on our
Laziness.
Laziness.
It's
Yeah, laziness to not want to have to go through the trouble of changing and having to call. If you call and want to cancel, they're going to try to talk you out of it, and you're going to have to like steal your resolve. No, I really do want to cancel, but hey, we can give you 3 months for free. Hey, we're not even going to charge you as long as you don't cancel. But it's like, I know that I'll just have to go through this again in 3 months. No, please cancel my service. Take me off your email list.
Yep. Do
not call me again. I am done. Please do that. And it still takes like 10 minutes to go through that phone call.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Everything's a nightmare. Life's too short.
Traffic reports remain free here on 97.3 The Fan. Here's Kelly Danick.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the premier auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Could prove to be a very busy afternoon commute, guys. We have got some rain heading this way. In fact, we've already had some scattered showers around the county. Fortunately, no incidents, no accidents, no surprises to report at this time. Of course, you will still find that stretch of the 78 westbound block between College and El Camino Real, all due to that road work. They don't expect to have it reopened for, well, at least a few more days. So we'll keep you posted on that. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So this Twitter user asks, I wish you guys would have asked Eric Greupner why the Padres won't give Bally Sports the right to add the Padres to Bally Sports Plus. What is the deal with Bally Sports Plus? It was like $20 a month.
Something like that. I don't know exactly how much it was.
They haven't had that in a while, have they?
No, they have it. You just don't get the Padres games. So what's on Bally Sports here? It's the Ducks, the Clippers.
So you're paying $20 to watch
Padres
that
over the air, but yeah, you were paying for, let's call it, I think it was $20 a month. If you don't have cable, if you've cut the cord, you could pay $20 a month, get Bally Plus
app,
and then through the app, you can stream all the sports that they carry except
the Padres.
For the Padres. And I don't know why. You idiots should have asked Eric Greupner.
Yeah, that's your fault. You're out in there asking about the food. We have him right here on the phone.
Have we not talked to him about this before? Isn't the streaming rights are different than the broadcast rights? I mean, you don't just give away things for free necessarily. I mean, there's a value.
An MLB issue.
There's a value to those streaming rights. MLB protects that value.
Yeah, well,
and they're not going to want their teams to just, oh yeah, you want the streaming rights? Well, you didn't pay for them in the original contract.
But the MLB was the one that came out and said, with all this hullabaloo going around Bally's, we're going to go ahead and I wonder if they're still going to do that. Has there been any update?
Well, that's the problem. If Bally's pays their money, Bally's will say, yes, but in our contract, you're not allowed to stream, home games in the market because we are protected. So you're kind of at a standoff on the two sides.
Yeah, that's tough, man. It's the product. We're a product. We want to get it into your ears the best way that we can, the easiest way, the most clear, resolution. We want to get it to you as best we can. And it is tough. It is tough.
Yeah. And by the way, the cable and satellite companies could, they won't let you buy just one channel. But they could.
They could.
I want is one channel, DirecTV, and I will pay $20 a month for it. They don't give you that option. Yeah, they won't let you. They'll make you buy an entire package that includes that channel. But I don't want any of the other channels.
$285 a month later, I'm watching my.
But I just want one.
Night.
I just want one channel. You can black out the rest of them.
It's so
I just want the one channel.
I watch 98% of shows on my phone. I barely watch the television anymore. But now. TV is going to be on all the time in every room because Padres are going to be on. So it's there's no solution. I wish we had one for you. If somebody wants to invent that Big D package, I will sign up for it.
His name is Jesse Agler, and you can listen to him for free. You can stream him on the Odyssey app, and you just let him paint the mental picture anytime you want to listen to Padres baseball.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's the worst part about being a fan these days is you just want to consume it, and it's hard to do sometimes.
All right, if you missed it earlier, we announced our weekly lineup of baseball coverage here on Ben and Woods every Monday. The guys from Cespedes Family Barbecue are going to be joining us, thanks to our friends at Grand Ole Barbecue making that possible. That's a nice little synergy going on right there. Jesse Agler on Tuesdays. Oh, Sammy. In-season Sammy on Mondays as well. Jesse Agler Tuesdays, Adam Jones Wednesdays, Eno Saris from The Athletic on Thursdays, and our Friday Management Report on Fridays. As every day, all season long, we're going to have Padres and baseball coverage for you with some of our regular favorites.
Man, I'm excited about bringing all that stuff to you guys, man.
Tomorrow morning. Happy does.
Be there in person.
You had to be there at any time.
In person.
9 a.m. Jake Peavy. Let's go.
Opening day starts at 6 a.m. We will be there live. Looking forward to seeing the Tier 1 stopping by on their way to the ballpark. That'll do it for us. Coach is coming up next. For Paul Reindl, for Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Last day without baseball here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.